let's just breathe it in, relax, release, connect, let it clear. All right. So welcome everyone to the first iteration of the Yin Yoga program here at ALTEA Active Liberty Village. My name is Alex Petroyama. It's a beautiful, beautiful honor to be here today with all of you. We're going to open up our circle, just bringing our hands to our heart center. We're going to chant the mantra Om. The Om is a way of connecting with the eternal. It's an energy that we're actually tuning into, recognizing, or acknowledging. It's the sound we're actually hearing right now in the room. It's the sound of silence. It's the sound of stillness. It's the sound of spaciousness. It occupies all three. It's a vibration that holds the space for all five elements. And so before we begin our program, it's something we want to always honor at the beginning of our practice. So bring our hands to Namaskar Mudra, prayer position over the heart, thumbs connected to the chest. I just want you to ground yourself here in the room and remember why you're here, the journey we're about to take. And with the power of the Om to allow yourself to connect deeply into the present. As we'll learn through Patanjali, yoga starts here, yoga starts now. This is the first sutra of yoga, connecting us with the lineage of love. Yoga 10,000 years ago, it's the same yoga today, we say 10,000 years from now. So we access that by being present, by being here, connected with the moment. So we're going to chant 3 mantra Oms, strong and long. We'll grow more confident over time. Remember, don't be afraid to sing the song of something sacred. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. No one is here to judge you. This sound is authentic. Whether it sounds pretty or not, what it needs to sound is powerful because it is present and it's coming from your presence. So let's do this all together. Deep breath. Deep breath in. Cleansing, clearing. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Sound of Ha, sound of the sun. 2 more. Deep breath in. Relaxing your hands down in a comfortable position. 1 more time. Deep breath in. Beautiful. Just learning how to sit here and be here. Just holding space for our introduction, holding space for each other, holding space for this journey, for this adventure, being able to remember what we must not forget. That we are aware of the energy, the intention, to begin a very special journey between us, around us, not just for ourselves, but for all our relations. So let's begin with a deep breath in through the nose, and exhale long and strong through the mouth. Let's keep breathing like this, nice and strong, all the way in, and all the way out. to tell you a story. As I set that collective intention. So as you be and breathe here, focusing on your breath, I want to acknowledge each of you for attending. By attending, the gift is your attention. The gift is your attention. And right now, your attention is on your awareness. And your awareness is following your energy. Your energy is breath. This is what we call prana. What we're accessing is our being. By being, we breathe. In order to be, we have to breathe. We're not breathing, we're not being. And so this will be the root. This will be the starting point for our program. As we energize our systems through the breath, understanding the gift is through our attention. Our attention, being here, being present. One of the things I've always noticed when I started this journey in the past is that if we're not all present, yoga doesn't start. So how I've had so much success in the past is because each time I teach this program, the first thing I do is connect us with the ancient teaching that yoga starts here, yoga starts now. In order to do that, we all have to be here. We all have to be now. And so we take the seat. And this seat is going to be strengthened. This sitting position that you're in is going to be stronger. It's going to be more relaxed as we embark on this 40-hour journey together. Because that's what the asanas are here to do. They're here to help you sit more comfortably in this space that we're accessing right now. And at the end of this program, at the end of this 40 hours, we're going to be sitting in the exact same space we're sitting in right now. The only difference is going to be what we cultivate, perpetuate, harvest in ourselves. Getting to know ourselves, truly know ourselves, not believe, not think, not feel. Behave. Know ourselves. The ancient Greeks called gnosis. This knowledge is going to be based on a 40-hour experience. Being and breathing. Being present. Once we're present, when we start to bring in the postures, we're going to move physical, to the energetic and emotional, and then into the mental. These three stages are going to be how we liberate ourselves from our past and from our future, so that we can truly sit dwell fully in the present moment. Because the present moment is the only moment. And the practice is here to teach us this. And that's why the present is a gift. The present is a gift. So I'd like you all to take one full deep breath in. I want you to hold that breath for a minute. just want you to hold that breath, feel that breath. Connecting for 1 whole minute. This is what we call the mindful minute. We oxygenate the body, focus on the feeling, and it transforms into the healing. Not all healing is good. Sometimes it can be facing things that are uncomfortable or painful. So when we sit in this inner space, we allow ourselves to open to grace. Reaching the 30-second marker, you can always take a little sit down. Hyper-oxygenate the body to prepare ourselves to hold the prana. Feeling here, connecting with ourselves, present to our presence in the present moment. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale, sayonara. Deep breath. And exhale, sayonara. Sound of ha, sound of the sun. How was your day? How was my day? How is it going? Deep breath in. And exhale, sayonara. Beautiful. Let's relax from these. Beautiful yogis. So welcome. Just that little moment we take transforms things very quickly, very fast. So now you can be as comfortable as you want. If you want to lie down on the bolster, you can lie down, sit back, relax. For those watching at home, be comfortable. Again, we all have our Yin Yoga books, which I'm very, very excited to share with you. So I always share this book because this is the book that I was first given. This is the book that I first started with. It's in its second iteration now. And always at the beginning of practice, you always want to thank your teachers. One of my teachers was Bernie Clark. And the beauty of this book is that it's a very, very, very neutral balance. It's not really telling you anything that isn't very, very intuitive and very, very inspirational. It's a very, very powerful book, so I always like to honor this with all my students because, again, this was something that I was given from my teacher when I started Yin Yoga. This is something I always like to hand out. So the first thing I always like to do with my yogis is take that book and do a little special activity. So I want you to take your pen. I want you to open up your pen. And I want you to open up the cover of the first page. Okay? And I believe it was Lao Tzu who said the journey of 10,000 miles begins with a single step, and this is our single step. The first step to Yin Yoga is one word. We're going to write that word down because there's something powerful about writing a word down rather than just speaking and writing it down. So we're going to write down that first page any way you want, as creative as you want. You can make a beautiful poster out of it. We're going to write ground. Write the word ground. Grounding. Ground. And why I use the word grounding and not ground is because everything you're going to learn from me is a verb. Okay? I am a teacher. Now that in English might mean now. But to me, truly, a teacher means that I am one with the teaching. So I use it in this analogy. I'm a runner, or I'm a martial artist, I'm a yogi, okay? All nouns. The key, though, to these words is that in order to be a runner, you have to be someone who runs, running. Okay? In order to be a martial artist, you have to be doing martial arts. It can get we can forget very quickly that these things, these titles come from the fact that we're doing these things. We're being these things. The doing comes from the being. So why I use the word grounding to start this journey is because I want everyone to know that it's a verb. It's something that is an action. Something that is, thank you for joining our circle, Andrew. Welcome. Everyone, Andrew, everyone. Andrew is one of our yogis here at ALTEA, and he's also my sailing captain. He takes me sailing. And he actually joined this program. You know, we were out on the water together as captain and first mate, and we just had a really sacred moment. And that's when we really made the decision that this was going to be something that he was going to do. So thank you, Andrew, for being here. To jump in, I'll fill you in. Let's grab you a quick book real quick though, if you don't mind, just grabbing that. And if you don't have a pen, maybe Kelly, you can share yours or Kent. Beautiful. We're just going to write the word grounding in our book. All right, so grounding, my grounding. So to be a teacher, you have to be part of the teaching. To be a yogi, you have to be doing yoga. Martial arts, whatever you want to call it. But what it is we take the noun into the verb. So to be one with the energy, to be here to sit as the teacher means you have to be one with the teaching. So the only reason I'm a teacher is because right now I'm part of the teaching. Now, you can go outside and call me your teacher all you want. It's a beautiful gift. As soon as that door closes, I don't associate myself as your teacher. Right now though, for the next 5 hours, I'm your teacher. When we go on break, I'm not your teacher. You might call me your teacher, and thank you for doing so. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm only a teacher when I'm teaching. This is something we're going to learn through yoga. I'm only a yogi because I practice yoga. So I always say to my yogis, yoga lasts 24 hours. So I only call myself a yogi, and when people think, it's because I practice yoga today. And I did. I practice yoga today. So I'm a yogi. All of you will be able to claim yourself as yogis for the next 24 hours because you practice yoga today. And so this is a very important part of the practice. Understanding the difference between verb and noun. And that's why we write grounding to begin our journey. Because it's an action. It's something we're going to take. So when we start this journey, it's something we're going to take. It's something we're going to be doing. And the doing moves into the being. It's the experience of what it is to feel grounded. Whatever it is in itself. But ultimately, remember, the experience is in itself. We are here to learn this experience from each other. But the verb is what is important. Understanding that the action of all these things is what's important. So it's here, it's now, we're in it, we're all in it. Be proud of yourselves, acknowledge who you are. You are yin yogis at this point moving forward, and you will always be as long as you continue to practice. Practice lasts 24 hours. So here we are on this beautiful journey. You'll notice I teach and practice every day, so I live 7 days of the week as a yogi. So it's a very beautiful honor to be able to have that as a credential. But that credential is a verb, not a noun. It's not about my university degree or anything like that. So I want you all to know that first and foremost. It's a very powerful thing. So write the word grounding. Write the word grounding because before we start our yin yoga journey, we have to be grounded. So that's why before you learn anything, we go into the practice. And so what we're going to do now is before we go into the practice, we're going to introduce ourselves as your teachers because it's not just me who's going to be your teacher. There are 2 other very, very special people here in this room that are going to be guiding your practice and are going to be a major influence on your journey through the yin yoga experience program. The first one I would like to introduce is the one who's been doing the program with me. You know, if there is a left, she is my right. If there is an up, she is my down. If there is a hot, there is a cold. You know, she has been the red to my blue when I teach this program because I believe in balance and I believe teaching it is all about balance. And we have really carried through this journey together as co-captains of this program. And so we are all equal. That's why we sit in a circle. We are all equal. And I'd like to introduce you to my equal, to one of my co-captains, because we actually work in threes, but one of my co-captains. But she has been the one on the journey previous to teaching here at ALTEA. first started in Toronto. And so I'd like to introduce her right now. So feel free to give a round of applause to Kelly Mayer. Come. Come and take the seat. Just introduce yourself and do your thing, the magic thing. I'm going to sit nice and close to the survey.
Okay. Okay.
Counts.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Kelly. I am a single mama. I have 2 twin daughters. They are 10 years old. I love them so much. So I would like to thank them for allowing me to be here to study and to practice with you. Like Alex said, we have been facilitating this program. This is our 4th iteration of it, our first time doing it at ALTEA. Alex has done it many more times before I joined with him. So I support the program from an administrative perspective, like an experience perspective. If you have questions as we go along, I am always here for you. I'm here to chat about anything physical, emotional, whatever it is, I'm here. If you have questions about any logistics or anything like that that are not ALTEA related, you can always bring those to me. It has been like a true honor to learn and do this program with Alex, with Paula. I learn so much every time, and the experience is different every time because we learn through our experience. So many of you may be taking this program to deepen your own knowledge of yoga, of yin. You may not think you're going to be teachers, or you're not going to share this information in some way. I thought the same thing. And now I teach as well, so I'm one of the teachers here. I do some breath work, I play with sound healing. So that's what I'll be bringing to you here as well. We're going to learn about the different sounds and how that supports us in our practice, how that changes our vibrational state. So like Alex said, no music. We'll be, instead of a lot of working with vibrations, music still too, music's awesome. But the sound healing stuff is pretty cool. So I will be sharing that with you. And I'm just really excited to be back and to be on this journey with all of you that we co-create together. And yeah, that's me. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Blessings. Beautiful. So that's Kelly, everyone. Kelly is a very special soul. She teaches here. You see her Tuesday nights. So if you haven't taken her class, please do. She's a very special one. And so the next person I'm going to introduce is also another very special person in my life. His name is Kent Chapman. And what I love about Kent is going to be the anatomy portion of this journey. Because when I met Kent, there was no one that knew the body, not just better than I, but could speak it, teach it, and also heal it. So Kent has been working with me over the last 7 months. He treats me once a week. I have a hard time calling it massage because it's so much more than that. But it is a massage, but it is definitely something much more than that. I truly feel he's the first person in my long line of history with working with other, massage therapists, XYZ, whatever you want to call them. He's the one that really has stood out to me. And so when I approached him about wanting to teach the practical anatomical aspect of this course, he was so excited. Because again, when you truly meet someone who has the ability to align and to connect with the body in the way that he does, we do want to share that with everyone who is open to receive it. So without further ado, I'll let him introduce himself. Kent Chapman. Nice round of applause. Good. Yeah, get your middle mic.
everyone. My name's Ken Chapman. I'm a member here at ALTEA. I dived into everything that Alex had to offer and some of the other practitioners here, and it was a lot of fun to get to know people who want to expand what a gym yoga setting could be like. It's very privileged to have someone like Alex sort of bring a little bit more depth to what yoga actually represents. It's not just about movement, but that mental aspect. I am the flip opposite to Alex in a lot of ways, because I will start with that mental and move through what will be happening within the physicality, through the emotional and energetic aspects of what we're trying to achieve here. Because as you're working, as you're sort of facilitating your own time and intention to care for yourself, you're going to be confronted with everything that happens to you all the time. And sometimes you can't make sense of that. And one of the things that I found in my work, 19 years pretty much in this practice of being a massage therapist, and now I've turned it more into alignment and conditioning and training. But what I work with and deal with on a daily basis is trying to attempt to give people agency in how to interpret themselves and how they find opportunities to explore what they're up against as they try to progress for whatever it is. It's just expanding practice, getting out the pain, nourishing some aspect of their journey in their own bodies, in their own energetic worlds. So the neat thing about that is it becomes very, I guess, abstract, because we operate in different formats of language. Obviously speaking here, I'm going to try and draw a little bit more on the anatomical language. So whether it is you're trying to teach or you're just doing this for yourself, it's helpful to have different scopes and perspectives on how you want to articulate what you've experienced. It's the best way of sharing and getting perspective. But also, if we can do more to interpret what it is that our body is telling us in moments. If you're in a position for 7 minutes, you're going to go through a lifetime of held patterns, relationships, unaddressed or far too familiar. And it can be really confrontational, and it's fascinating to be able to approach that in as many varied ways as possible. Alex has always done a really good job at facilitating that space and holding that for people. And hopefully throughout this, I'll just add a little bit of articulation as to how you might speak to a healthcare practitioner or a classroom full of people who just don't quite understand the woo aspect of something, but it's really nice to know what flexion might be in a part of their body. So we can get into that. How many people here have an anatomy background? I'm just kind of curious. And an anatomy background, like done any studying? We can start from the basics. I don't want to overwhelm. It's really about just creating a supplement. And it's just another way of approaching and understanding for who you are, what you're doing in every moment in any way. So looking to meet all of you. And I'm the guy to ask if there's something happening you don't understand physically. So hopefully that's something you can feel comfortable approaching me with. Because I would love to share any insight that I have regarding what you can do to sort of address and move through and beyond. Because, again, long postures brings up a lot. So feel free to approach me on that. It's nice to meet you all.
Good. All right. So also too available to you. So once we get your emails and everything, Ken will also be available to you privately. I see him once a week, so I see him every Friday. He's phenomenally affordable and very approachable and very well versed. So if any of you need one-on-one, he's your guy. You know, especially for this program, because he'll guide you through. Because one of the things you'll realize with the posturing is that you may get up on something that just might need a bit of a more anatomical understanding. We have that resource in the program, but then it might be something that you might actually need. I always say, like, you need someone to have your back. You know, you need that second pair of hands. hands, or that's, you know, that helping influence on you. You know, you can do all the yoga in the world, but at the end of the day, sometimes the yoga of asking for help is one of the yogas that we need. So having that support with Ken is really, really here, and he's going to be available to all of you. So that's something you need moving forward. If there's some pain or some stuff, you feel like you could use some extra insight or guidance, he's going to be available for you. So that's important too. Because again, we're here to liberate and realize, and we're going to talk about what that is, because that's the real essence of yoga. So that's why we start with yin. Yin is all about liberation. So we come back to the word grounding. So why did I have you write the word grounding in the beginning of the books? Right, again, as I said, the teacher is the teaching, now becomes the verb. So now I'm going to tell you a story. And the story is of myself. Why you are all here. Because there's definitely an energy between each of us. There's a relationship that was built between each of us. You trusted me to take this journey, financially, emotionally, mentally. Now we are here at the sort of precipice of something great. So feel free to lie back, relax. This is going to be a little bit of a longer story, and then we're going to get into the practice. So, grounding. When I started my yoga journey, I did not really understand what yoga was. Didn't understand it until yin yoga came into my life. Yin yoga was what grounded me into the practice. It was the thing that made me go, aha, I love this. This is the thing I need more of. And why was it that? Because right away, I was ungrounded. You know, I'm a very bird-like energy. You've all heard my whistle. There's a spirit in me. It's always been in me to fly, to soar, to reach the apex. You know, the spirit of the eagle, the spirit of the condor. These spirits live with me. They align with me. They are helpers. They are friends. They are allies. So for me, I was always having this very ungrounded experience in life. Be it good, be it bad. But it wasn't until yin yoga that I really understood how much I needed the opposite of something. And when it came into my life, it was a very, very powerful expression, and it made a powerful impression on my psyche, on my spirit, on my soul. And so I started my yin yoga teacher training before I did my 200-hour, much like many of you. I don't think there's anyone in the room with a 200-hour credential, correct? One? Beautiful. So there's one of you. So this program will add to that credential, but this program also stands alone, which is to say, in the yoga world, the 200-hour is sort of the bread and butter. It's the staple. It's, you know, if you want to work from here, it's what you need as a credential to work here. But in order to teach a supplementary program like yin yoga, you need a 40-hour certification in yin. Because yin is something different. It's something beyond the 200-hour scope of the program. And so what it is I started with that. And what it is that this is a specific type of yoga where instead of going into the yang, into the ungrounded, into the soaring, into the flying, into the leaping, into the jumping, into the balancing, into the strengthening, all of this yang, 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 yang. The yin yoga is all about the grounding. It's the opposite of that. So it extracts from the postures. And anything that can begin can be yang. Anything yang can begin. So this program is designed to extract from that and move it from a neutral point into a more grounded, into a more deeper, longer, gentler, more relaxed, more comfortable, surrender, sweetness into these aspects of our practice that you all have learned to love and enjoy. And in a city like Toronto, which is very much a yang city, it's very much a working class city, and there's a lot of energy in the city. This city needs more yin, needs the balance of yin, because yin is going to ground. And that is why this yin program has been so successful here at ALTEA. And it's been so successful in each of your lives, because all of you are people who are very yang in nature. We all have one aspect of the other. But we generally start to become attracted to what we need. Sometimes we get attracted to what we are, but it's only a matter of time until we get attracted to what we need. And I feel like each of you have heard the call. And the call to yin is to be grounded. So in this moment, that's why I encourage you to lie down and listen to the story. So I took on the 40-hour program with my teacher, Guy Tree in Canada. I started the 40-hour day program, and I was hooked. I was hooked because I started with the classes, and of all the yoga classes I had ever taken, yin was the one I loved the most. And there was just something about it. As each minute went by, I had this whole inner world start to open up that I had never experienced before. I never really had to encounter, fought, challenged myself in such a way. I was always doing. I was always able to do something about it. I can encounter myself, I can do something about it. Get into an opposition with myself, I can do something about it. But in this particular moment, in yin yoga, I couldn't do anything. I kept being encouraged to do less, be more. And this really stayed with me. So I was hooked, and I started to take yin yoga more and more, and the duration of the posture started to go longer and longer. So in yin yoga, there are 26 asanas, and these 26 asanas are like an alphabet. Now, there can be more than 26, there can be less than 26, just like languages. There are some languages that have more than 26 letters and some languages that have less than 26 letters. But ultimately, the postures you're going to be learning during this program are here to teach you how to build words that connect with your body, with your mind, with your story, with your ancestry, and with your journey moving forward. So each of these postures is almost like a word in the alphabet. And as we go through these sequences of movements, of postures, you're going to start to form words. You're going to start to form sentences. And that's what a class is. A class is like a sentence. But as you go through these postures one by one, it's forming words. And by the end of the class, there's a sort of phrase or greater meaning that comes from it. And a really great teacher will, hide this secret teaching into the lesson. This program is here to illuminate. So as you come to my classes throughout the week, as you come to Kelly's classes, as you experience the healing energy with Kent, you're going to start to hear, see, notice this kind of hidden thing that is occurring, which is sort of imagine a GPS, right? Like the ability to see from above where you're going. In the old days, we had to use maps. Now we have this technology. So this program is really like an increased technology. It's going to bring bigger awareness to practice here, your home practice, where you travel, when you go to other teachers' classes. And these classes that you're going to experience here are in a much deeper way. So my story really begins with yin yoga in Kempville with Gayatri, falling in love with this, and then really using it throughout all of my yang aspects of my story. I have 2 black belts in martial arts. The founder of yin yoga, serendipitously, Paulie Zink, he is a grand master in Kung Fu. And I'm talking grandmaster. He is incredible. He is an amazing soul. And if you ever get the chance to see him, his flexibility is unparalleled, and to his strength. And that's why you always hear me say, gymnastics, gymnasts, Olympians, there's a balance between stretching and strength. So we are always trying to find them both. This program, though, has its emphasis, has its attention on the one, which is deep tissue stretching. So deep that it actually updated the consciousness of kinesiology and physiology, where there was a point in our understanding of ligaments and tendons that physiologists, kinesiologists didn't believe that you could stretch ligaments and tendons. And one of the claims to fame that yin yoga brought to the West was this consciousness that yes, in fact, you can stretch ligaments and tendons. And this is a very important thing, not just muscles, but ligaments and tendons. So joints, the things that hold your joints. And so this journey through yin yoga is really about healing the body and being able to take this powerful strength, this powerful energy, this beautiful, beautiful yang energy that we all have to be strong and powerful, and to channel it into being flexible and to feeling at ease in the body, pain-free in the body, letting all that pain, all that trauma, all that suffering be grounded, put it back into the earth. And so this is a very important beginning of our journey. Understanding the story for myself was to reduce, to release, to relax the pain, the trauma, the suffering in my storyline, and to be able to do that through yin yoga. This is the way that it came through. This is the way that it was. And this is why I'm such an advocate to teach these programs throughout my life, because it changed my life in such a beautiful way. From there, I went off to gain my 200 hour, and this is the storyline that will occur right now through this lineage of love that we'll talk about in the later section in our program. Where this all comes from, where it's going, giving you a sort of overview of what this all is. But I just wanted to introduce myself, as Alex, as a lead yoga instructor, master trainer here at ALTEA Active in Toronto. I've been a full-time yoga teacher since I was 25 years old, and I'm now 38, so it has been over 13 years. And I'm a 10,000 hour Yoga Alliance certified EYT teacher, so I've taught over 10,000 hours, and I've taught both the 200 hour and the Yoga Alliance continuing education programs, which this is, many, many times, and around the world, in both Peru and Nepal. So it's a very, very honor to be with all of you here today. It's a real blessing, and I really, really can't wait to see how this all comes to fruition to all of you. Everything that's grounded grows. Everything that grows gives. Everything that gives a surrender. So this is the perfect time to transition into the practice. So let's find our way lying down onto the ground. Let's relax, release. I'm going to dim the lights a little bit to get ourselves in a comfortable way. And you're going to follow me on a journey through the practice. Make sure you have a bolster. Make sure you connect with things. Make sure you're hearing clear. Alright, yogis, namaste everyone. And so this is going to be the beginning of the practice component. For those who know, you're already in position. We're going to start our practice today, lying that bolster at the base of the spine, opening up the heart. So you're going to open up your legs nice and wide. You're going to bring that bolster to your back. The bolster is a support. So the bolster is a support, and it allows our spine to allow it to fully ground. And so we can get nice and cozy and comfortable with it. Make sure it's at the base of the spine. There's no space, and you're going to lie back, relax, and open up your arms. And as you open up your arms, you're going to do little tiny micro movements, just getting yourself nice and grounded here on the floor. And once we're here, nice and grounded here on the floor, we're going to begin to practice today with a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale long and strong through the mouth. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale long and strong through the mouth. Breathing all the way in. And exhaling all the way out. Everything that's grounded grows. Nothing can grow unless it is grounded. Even a talent, air needs to be grounded. So this is how we begin. Opening up our heart center. Allowing everything that is grounded to grow. Focusing on the healing, focusing on the feeling. So as we continue to breathe in and out, all the way in through nose, and all the way up through mouth, again, finding that comfortable position. And as we started our practice today, as we got into our introduction, we took a comfortable seat. A seat is a position. And throughout every posture, you're going to learn to connect with what we call the seat. And the true seat of the yogi is settled in the heart. A true yogi always leads with their heart. And so by having the bolster behind our backs, it opens up our chest to become a little bit more expansive and a little bit more inviting to the breath. Imagine your arms are wings and your fingers are feathers. Your body doesn't know the difference whether or not you are here at ALTEA, in yoga with me, or you are winning gold medal at the Olympics. This is a power pose. So when your arms are above your heart, you are in the position of a power pose. Your body starts to create different neurology, connection, different associations. Neurotransmission increases. This is very, very important. As we ground, we start to grow. So all together now, we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale mouth. For 10. Through nose, through mouth. 8. Long and strong. 7. 6. 4. 3. 2. 1. Now, yogis, I want you to take your deepest breath in and hold. And as you into the stillness, relaxing into the spaciousness, relaxing into the silence. The only way to experience these things is by being grounded. You can't experience silence, stillness, and spaciousness without being grounded. And as we're grounded, what is growing right now is the energy, which is us holding the inhale. This is known as prana, holding the prana, the life force energy of the yogi. And this is getting imbued into every cell. It's called oxidization, getting it into every cell. We're going to hold for 1 minute. We have 15 more seconds left to go. As you hold it, feel it, connect with your body, being present with your presence in the present moment. 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale, side out. Beautiful. Deep breath in through nose. And exhale, side out through mouth. Sound of hot, sound of the sun. Let it through. Deep breath in. And exhale, side out. Beautiful. Next round again. Deep inhale through nose. Long and strong through mouth. Deepening that breath. Inhale nose. And exhale mouth. Relax. Healing, feeling in through nose. Long and strong through mouth. Breathing, being in through nose. Chest expands, abdomen expands. Exhale, abdomen, chest. Beautiful. This is the 3-part breath of the yogi. Comes in through your nose, chest expands, abdomen expands, and you exhale, abdomen, chest, pushing your belly button down towards the ground, and letting all that air leave your lungs and through your mouth. Back again through nose, chest expands, abdomen expands, and exhaling all the way out, abdomen, chest, and mouth. Forming this beautiful circle of breathing. And this way of breathing is very long and strong. Beautiful, yogis. We have 2 more minutes to go. And as we breathe like this, I want to increase that exhale more and more. Because again, we are practicing yin yoga. And as we increase the length of the exhale, we actually start to stimulate our parasympathetic activity. That which helps us rest, that which helps us digest, that which helps us relax, that which helps us release. So allow yourself to be and breathe out more and more and more each and every time, increasing the length of the exhale every time you fill it. So all the way in through the nose, all the way out, long and strong through the mouth. Breathing in. Increasing that exhale, longer and stronger. That's how we're going to increase our ability to stimulate the yin energy in our bodies. 1 more minute on the clock, focusing on the feeling, focusing on the healing, as we learn how to ground down, down, down to the ground. If you ever have a problem with sleeping, if you ever have a problem with your energy being too high, this is one of the many practices you can turn to help neutralize and guide that energy, to help it relax, to help it release. Beautiful, yogis. 1 more deep breath in through the nose all together. Feel it at the top of your breath. Let's all hold and feel here. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale all the way out, long and strong. Empty, 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 all the way out. Feel it, feel it, feel it. Now take a deep breath in and hold that breath. Good. Now we're going to extend our time from 1 minute to 3 minutes. In this 3 minutes, you don't have to hold the whole time. I just want you to experience what it is that is your threshold. Some of you, it will be a full 3 minutes. For others, it might be somewhere before that. Wherever it is for you, just let yourself exhale, relax, release, and come back into that long, 3-part deep breathing pattern. In through nose and out through mouth. And as you hold the breath, as you feel the breath, you're being enriched with prana. And prana is a very, very beautiful, nurturing and nourishing energy. And this nurturing and nourishing energy is how we start to grow. Grow into the directions that our body needs for healing or our life path wants for ourselves. And as you continue to hold, you've rounded the first minute, moving closer and closer to 1.5 minutes. Again, you don't have to force or fix anything. Just allow and align. When you're ready to exhale, you exhale. If you can hold the whole 3 minutes, please do so. This is going to give a very powerful feeling and enriching experience in the body. Beautiful yogis, you're rounding now the 2-minute marker. Remember, you can always take a little breath in, but savor that exhale. Savor that exhale. 1 more minute. Feeling, connecting. Ready to let go, and immediately deep breath in through nose. Exhale, melt. As we breathe for those who are still holding. As we breathe for those who are still holding. 30 seconds left. Connecting, feeling, noticing what's within you as you continue to expand, both inward and outward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful, yogis. Deep breath in. Feel that energy. And exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful, yogis. 1 more. Deepest breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful, yogis. And now we're going to move into our next phase in this posture. Still staying here, still holding the posture. And this is a breath known as Brahmari. And Brahmari translates as honeybee breathing, and it brings sweetness to our posture. It's a way of cleansing and clearing the posture. It's also a way of getting into the tissues through the strong hum, and our tissues are where we store our issues. So the mind is the body to the yogi. The body is the mind, non-separate. Through the breath, we can understand that the two are one. So the memory, the pain, the trauma, the suffering is stored deeply in the body. Through the Brahmari, it helps us deeper release it. So what we're going to do, for many of you, is something new. This is a continuous Brahmari. And you're going to stay with me as much as you can, but if your pacing is a little bit faster, a little bit slower, that's fine. Don't worry, you're not affecting anyone in the room. Go a little bit out of pace, that's okay. Think of a bunch of bees just buzzing around. As long as every bee buzzes, the buzz continues. So it's going to be a continuous hum. You're going to stay with me. And we're going to be doing this for another 5 full minutes. So when you're ready, stretch and open your legs a little bit more, open up your arms a little bit more, get comfortable, because for a lot of you, this is going to be a new experience. So let's take a deep breath in to begin. Don't wait for anyone, just keep going. Last one. Deep breath in. Hold that breath, feel that breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 5 full minutes of breath. Deep breath in, hold the breath. Hold that breath. Doesn't mean you have to hold your breath for 5 minutes. What it means is you're going to hold your breath as long as you can. You're going to sigh out strong. Don't worry about anyone else. Everyone's going to gain energy off of your warrior release, the sound of ha. Don't be afraid to sing a song of something sacred. And then I just want you to melt into this posture even more grounded. For a true yogi leads with the heart. We are activating the heart center. Focusing on that sweetness. The sweetness that you are. Connecting with the stillness. Transforming the uncomfortable into the comfortable. Being here. Being clear. Moving through all darkness, all doubt, and fear. In the true nature of love. This is what we're cultivating. Self-love, self-care. Once you let it out, just relax into it. Really relax into it. Really let your mind settle. Let your body down. As you go down towards the ground. Experiencing the true teaching of grounding. True nature of your ground. To bring union to the hyperactive mind. To the over-aggressive behaviors. To the access to the deficiency. Bringing everything into balance. Feel it in your nose, feel it in your toes, feel it in your fingers. Little tiny micro movements till we go a little bit deeper. Sukha, sweetness over suffering, dukkha. You hear these tiny little sounds. These tiny little sounds. The little changes. That's what they represent. The little changes that make the big differences. Throughout this program, you're going to experience a whole bunch of little tiny changes that are going to make a whole big difference to your health, to your well-being, as we liberate and realize. And a minute and a half to go release. Feel that energy. So feel that flow. Relax. I know that. I know that. Growing from our grounding. What grows from this space? What do you truly see from this place? The inner light. Wise call it the uncreated light. Light that's always been there. Can never go out. Unconditional, which means there's no condition. India and Sanskrit, they call it Atma. Our spirit, our soul. Yogis, 5 minutes. Let's take our hands to our heart centers now. As we take our heart centers now, we're going to set our intention for today's practice. intention. Why are we here? It's going to bring meaning to our being. What's the one word? It's going to bring us back into balance. Forget, remember. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. It's going to help us keep us going. It's like a gale in our sail. Where's that help toward our healing? It's the feeling, it's the thought, it's the inner tension, the inner teacher, the inner guru, the inner guide. Whatever that intention is in these, just like stars from constellations right now, with all of your intentions, we are forming a very special constellation. We are more connected than we think. Single star. We think it's alone. It is not alone. It shines bright. Others from constellations. Although you might not be friends yet, at this moment you're all friends. You're all connected through our intentions, our reasons for being here. So with that intention, we begin our practice. So let's take a deep breath in, and then exhale, open up our arms side out. Beautiful. Two more. Deep breath in. And exhale, side out. As we relax our head, relax our shoulders, open up our jaw. And one deep breath. And exhale, side out. As I join you for this next part, I'm going to slowly start to sit up. As we slowly start to sit up, around our spine. As we're around our spine, we're going to bring our feet together. Feet together, we're all going to sit up in a bolster. As we sit up on the bolster, which is really beautiful, we're going to allow ourselves to do two movements. So the first movement we're going to do is side to side. So it's a side to side. So you place your hands at your side. Then the second movement we do is butterfly. So at any point in the posture, as the energy gets dormant, you just have these two options. Okay? You can bring your heels closer to your hips or further apart. Again, it's your diamond. It's your shape. So find what's comfortable for you. Then when you feel like you're getting comfortable and situated, start to bring your hands up in front. As you bring your hands in the front, connect with the earth, connect with the ground, connect with the posture. Then take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale mouth. And for the next 5 minutes, slowly, going to start to spider crawl our fingers forward. Once you reach your maximum, once you reach that range of motion, you stop. This is where the comfortable meets the uncomfortable. Once you reach that place, you're going to breathe nice and deep. That 3-part breath in through nose, long and strong through mouth. Cooling the body, feeling the ground. And you're going to keep growing into the posture, keep walking it forward over the course of the next 5 minutes. Remember, your head is with 30-pound weights. Relax your head, let it go. And slowly, continue to walk those fingers forward more and more. Remembering in yin yoga, you're here to face the uncomfortable. And you're here to transform that which is uncomfortable, breath by breath, moment by moment, into what is comfortable. So it takes a lot of courage to be here in this practice. Because when we enter the present moment, you no longer have any worry. Worry can only exist in the past or in the future. Worry about something that has happened, worry about something that will happen. We need to transform the worry into the warrior. Each of you, as you be and breathe, as you face the uncomfortable, transforming into yoga warriors. Letting all the worry to drain from your bodies, to dissipate. Here, here, all darkness, all doubt, and fear. That's it. You're slowly dropping down, halfway there. Deep breath in. Deeper breath in. Listening to the music of the moment. Listening to the sounds of yourself. Breathing deep, down, down, down. Into the ground. Relax. Release. All the way into your nose. All the way out. Transforming the uncomfortable, breath by breath, moment by moment, into what is comfortable. What is comfortable for you. Not anyone else. What is comfortable for you. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, today. This moment. Being and breathing. This long, strong, deep, more time to experience the timeless, more energy to increase your awareness. As your back is in flexion, forward, fold. Opening up those hips, long and strong, down, down, down into the ground. 30 more seconds of use your great spider crawl a little bit more. It's like diving into the sea, diving into the ocean. What you're diving into is the sea of yourself, the ocean. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, deep breath in, long, strong breath. Bolster behind you or sitting in front of it. Exhale, splash back, relax back into our bolster. Feel the bliss. Bliss is the feeling of needing, wanting nothing. You are free. Free of your posture. Free to do, be as you please. So for the next 3 minutes of these, move and groove your body. Movement is medicine for your body. Or be still, be chill. Stillness is medicine for your mind. As you be and breathe, next 3 minutes, you connect your body through your breath. Feel your intuition. What What does your body need? This is where we start to awaken the guru inside, the teacher inside. And as you learn to listen and listen and listen, like Kelly referenced, you might be here just for yourself. And that teacher inside you may forever only teach you. But there may be the possibility that that teaching voice inside you grows stronger. And one day, soon, maybe a long time from now, a galaxy far, far away, might grow louder. I want to express itself to others. So don't try to have any hard lines or rules or boundaries when you experience or practice yourself. Let yourself be open to the uncomfortable. Let yourself be in a constant state of expansion where you can grow into things. For as long as you're grounded, you're always safe to grow into things. Good, because a minute and a half to go. Enjoying the feeling of relaxing and releasing. As we move from our toddler pose, what does our toddler pose has to teach us? As we go into forward fold, as we come into spinal flexion, as we come into abduction of the hips. These are all the anatomical terms that can't be moved. Again, simple is complicated and understood. We don't need to make it hard. Right? Soft, gentle, yin. 30 more seconds, yogis. Enjoying the gentle journey down, 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 down towards the ground. And when you're ready, come join me for our next posture. So our next posture, yogis, a good one. So you've been coming to class, know it. You're going to bring that bolster behind you. Bring that bolster behind you now in the middle of the mat. Lie down. Lie down and relax. Allow yourself to have your neck nice and long, knees into chest, up your knees. This is level 1. Stay here. So even here, it's a very light version because your hips are technically above your heart. That's what makes this version. But extend a little bit further, legs straight. This is a very gentle way of doing shoulder stand. Point your toes, curling your toes. And again, a lot of people, including myself when I started, had a hard time just having straight legs. The muscle becomes so short, so tense, over years and years and years of not doing yoga. It was very hard to do this. So this is where we begin. So again, pointing toes, curling toes, being here, getting the legs straight. For those who want to go a little bit further, you start to bring the legs a little back, and that lifts your back. You can even a little bit lift with the hips, you can bring that bolster, that support a little bit higher on your back so there's a little bit more lean. And again, keep it nice and chill. Open up your arms, relax into the feeling, relax your head, not too much weight. Over the course of the next 5 minutes, if you'd like to go deeper and deeper and deeper, you also have the option to go all the way back for full plow. And that's something you do slowly over time. Some of you can go there right away. Others, it takes a little bit of time. And again, toes touch, toes, legs, together or apart. You can go back. Squeeze on your hands. You can reach for your feet. So again, any of these variations are going to work really, really wonderful for you. So I'm going to set the timer. You're going to be here for 5 full minutes. As we relax, release. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale left. I'm going to come around the room, help a few of you. If you need any help, I'm here for you. And just let yourself go down, down, down towards the ground. Let yourself feel the weight of your body. Notice your energy to be and breathe, moment by moment, breath by breath, long and strong. Through nose, all the way up your mouth. So bring your legs back, back, back towards the floor. You have 5 full minutes here. 5 full minutes to get there. Everything go. Everything flow. Back, back, back. Towards the ground. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. All the way in and all the way out. Breathing, feeling yin full energy. And looking with yin. Feeling, connecting, noticing, breath by breath, moment by moment. As you be, as you be, focus on the feeling. Focus on it. Back, 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 down, 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 towards the ground. Beautiful work, yogis. Good. It's been 2.5 minutes. 5 minutes today. Here in our inversion. Just keep relaxing back and down, down, down towards the ground. Focusing on the feeling. Focusing on the feeling. Deep breath. Deeper breath. All the way. All the way. Growing through this grounded experience. Down, down, down towards the ground. Good. Final minute and a half to go. Doing great. Stay with the feeling. Stay with the practice. Stay with the joy of the posture. Keep bringing it in, breath by breath. All movement into this moment. As it arises within yourself, let it release. Down, down. Towards the ground. Breath by breath. Breath by breath. Beautiful energy. Beautiful energy. A few more seconds left, yogis. Doing great. Feeling great. Beautiful. Ready? Slowly, gently. Slower the better. We're going to come down, down, down towards the ground. Again, 3 full minutes to express ourselves any way we want. Stillness, through movement. Remember, movement is medicine for your body. Stillness bit of yang in the yin. A little dull of yang, a little white circle. So knees wide, arms straight, hips touch. We're going to go forward and back. So we're bringing our hips to our heels. So make sure your toes are uncurled. We're bringing our hips towards our heels. As we bring our hips towards our heels, we're going to arch our spine up and down. Let's take a deep breath in, yogis. And a deeper breath out. Focusing on our cat. Focusing on our cow. Relaxing. And releasing. All the way in. All the way out. Moving the spine up and down, long and strong. Breathing in. Feeling in. Arching spine up. Arching spine down. Long and strong. Breath by breath, moment by moment. Feeling this wave-like energy. Tuck your chin as you push back, heels, hips. All the way in. All the way up. Noticing the arch in the spine. Feeling that articulation. As you round it, as you roll it through. All the way up, and all the way down. Deep breath in, and deeper breath in. Good. That's a little bit of yang within the yin. Doing something over a long period of time, long duration, over and over and over again. Nice and gentle. So as we repeat the movement, soft and slowly, we start to get into the deeper layers of the tissues. Noticing why it goes this way, why it goes that way. Maybe there's a spot that feels like it needs your attention as you draw it up and down. Breathing and beautiful, yogis. Minute and a half to go. Feel that energy. Feel that flow. All the way. All the way out. All the way out. All the way up. Final minute. As we stretch and lengthen our spine, as we articulate flexion, extension, forward folds, backward bend. Breathing in all the way through. Inhaling. exhale. That side, up and down. Beautiful yogis. When you're ready, we're going to open up our knees, toes touch. We're going to push back into child's pose. As we push back into child's pose, there's three options. Option one, hands off the bolster wide, forehead to the ground. Option two, hands on the bolster, relaxing your forehead to the ground. Option three, bring your elbows to the edge of the bolster for dolphin, and your forehead drops below the bolster. Good. We're going to be here and breathe all the way in through the nose. Fill up the chest, fill up the abdomen, so all strong through the mouth. Down, down, down. Breathing and breathing. 5 minutes on the clock. Really relax. Really let go. Feel that energy. Feel that flow. Breathing in. All the way up through nose. All the way up. Breath by breath. Breath by breath. All the way in. All the way out. Breathing and relaxing and releasing. First minute, 4 more minutes to go. Feel that energy. Feel that. Down, down, down towards the ground. Taking that third eye, that pineal, that sees light, that registers light, allowing it to move into the earth. In ancient times, this was a form of prostration, allowing your energy to relax, allowing your energy to let go. Feel, connecting, notice. Relax into it. Keep continuing to move that energy that comes up, down, down, down. Breathing and breathing. Relaxing. Getting more and more comfortable with the uncomfortable. The reason why we're playing music is because we want to get more and more comfortable. We want to get more and more comfortable with the uncomfortable. For many, silence, stillness, spaciousness is an uncomfortable feeling. But as you have been learning through today's practice and through today's teachings, it's only uncomfortable if we're ungrounded. If we're grounded, we're constantly taking the uncomfortable and transforming it into the comfortable. Because our self is expanded. So continue to breathe, yogis. One more minute. All the way in. And all the way out. Down to the center. More time we spend facing the uncomfortable, transforming it into the comfortable, stronger. What is grounding? Strong. What is grounding? Can grow into great things. When you're ready, yogis, one broad range to cleanse and clear. Deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale, side out. Let's release ourselves from the posture. 3 minutes. Stretching, moving, connecting. Dog, tabletop, upward dog, angle. And go with your intuition. Go with what feels right for you this moment. We're all here to master your own experience. Let yourself learn from each breath, each breath. Let yourself grow into the experience. Tuning in to the sweetness, the sukha that emerges the sun. Deeper we breathe, deeper we move, more energy we receive. 4 minutes, stretching and strong. Moving and moving your bodies. Noticing the changes. Noticing the connections. All right, when you're ready, come join me. Next posture is going to be our Sphinx. So we're going to put the bolster once again in the middle. We're going to lie down on our bolster under our hips, so our hips are nice and comfortable. And bring our forearms up in front. This is level 1. Hips, forearms, relaxing down, hands, feet in the air. Good. Level 2, we push back our hips, walking our hips hips back. As we push back our hips, lift our head up. And again, if that doesn't feel comfortable, just screw your toes and come back up. And feel it in your hips. Taking the bolster underneath it, and wiggle out. If you're ready for it, that bolster come up toward your solar plexus. As that happens, open up your legs, press down on your hands to the earth, lift your body. Good. Here is level 3. Straighten your arms. This is walrus. Wiggle it out. Feel. Sphinx. Walrus. Move back. And then finally, for some who have that flexibility, you can walk your hands minute by minute, going up higher and higher. Okay. We're here for 5 minutes, please. 5 minutes is a long time. So if you go too far too quick and need to back off, always allow yourself. But if there's space to move into, if you can cultivate the uncomfortable, and you can make it comfortable, continue to move forward breath by breath, higher and higher, as you drop the tailbone down and you look up. Deep breath in, deeper breath out. This pose is called Sphinx. Because the Sphinx is that creature that knows the riddles and secrets of the universe. And the riddle of the Sphinx is what happens when the immovable object meets the unstoppable force. The riddle of the Sphinx to us. What happens when this meets that? The immovable object meets the unstoppable force. What's going to happen? This is the secret of the Sphinx. This is the secret of this pose. It's something we'll discuss in the later portion of the teachings. These are called koans, spiritual riddles. You hear the answer to something that will immediately resonate, immediately connect. Almost like you knew the answer, but you were afraid to speak it. So they are great teachings of yoga, Zen, used to allow the mind to unwind, soften. Because not all knowledge comes from the mind. Some of it comes from the heart. These are what these koans, or spiritual riddles, have to teach us. Sphinx pose, the riddle of the Sphinx, is very, very connected. Halfway there. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Breathing and paying through the nose. All the way in through the nose. All the way over. Noticing the transformation, the silence, the stillness, the spaciousness. Noticing yourself, how comfortable you are, where we started, where we are now, ourselves, in the group, star, constellation, connection. And then I have to go to this deep breath in, deep breath in. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. Focus on the feet. Focus on the feet. 1 more minute to go. Slash down. Breath in. Inhale, come up. Exhale, slash down. Good. Relax. Down, down, down. Face breath. Feel. 3 minutes on the clock. Whatever you feel like doing. Remember, movement is medicine for your body. Stillness is medicine for your mind. Let yourself be and breathe. Notice the connection. Healing light, healing breath. Breathing in. That's it. Just 1 more minute to go. Feel the energy. Feel the flow. Beautiful. All right, when you're ready, slowly, slowly start to come up. Come up this time. Bring that bolster once again to the center of your mats. Bring your knees up on it, tabletop position. You're going to bring that right knee to the side of your right wrist, left foot to left hip. You're going to walk that back leg. Find your variation of pitching. So that's it. Right knee to right wrist. Here, just bring the second in front. That's it. Just like that. Walk it back. Nice and slowly. That's it. So rather than have it all the way up, might be a little bit too much. Come up on it. Come up on it on the knee. That's it. Yeah, get comfortable. You gotta use your weight to lift your leg. That's it. Walk it back into the bolster, stretching it back, using the bolster to help stretch it back. Once you have that connection, we're going to spend the first minute just going side to side. Deep breath in through nose. Exhale long and strong through mouth. All the way in and all the way up. That's it, side to side. So this is really, really important for our posturing because it gets us into the position we want to be in. And this is our pigeon pose. Stretching and feeling, allowing everything to align. Deep breath in, 3 more seconds. Deeper breath out. In through nose. Mouth. That's it. Move it. All right. Now watch me. Level 1. Level 1. Hands walk out a little bit in front. You relax your head. You stay here. Grounding the energy through 2, forearms to the ground. You relax your head, grounding the energy. Level 3, come all the way down, forehead to the ground. Arms come stretch, forearms come. Level 4, you just lift your hip and remove the bolster and continue your journey without the bolster, because now you're in perfect position. So the bolster was a very good support in teaching you how to do pigeon pose. So the bolster becomes that teacher. It allows you to line it up perfectly for yourself. Whatever you choose to do here, then just relax, deep breath in, and deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Relaxing, release all the way in, and all the way in. By breath. All movement into this moment. Deeper you breathe, more energy you receive, the more help you get facing that uncomfortable, transforming it into what is comfortable. Breathing. Breathing. And down. Relaxing and releasing. As the pain, as the trauma and suffering comes through, keep finding ways to micro move. Breathe down, down, down to the ground. Bringing that sharp, natural pull into the earth. It can be absorbed, drained, like water into sand. 30 more seconds. You've got this. Into that deeper connection. What resists persists. So we have to do the opposite. We have to let go. Let be. Breath. Surrender. Ready, yogis, when we're already clear, come up, child pose, tabletop or down. Deep breath in. Inhale. Side it out. Good. Slowly coming up, yogis. You got this. Curl your back toes, push back. Again, bow everything to the line. And let them be defined. Push that energy into the earth. Stretch it. Down dog. Child's pose. Cat cow. In between. Breathing. All the way in and all the way out. deeper we breathe, more energy we receive. 10. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Beautiful, yogis. Good. Take that bolster once again. We're going to place it down onto the ground, halfway on the mat. Walk your knees up onto the bolster. This time you lean forward. You bring your left knee to the outside of your left wrist. That's nice and easy. Make sure you're nice and comfortable with your leg. Walk it back. Get back, stretch it back. I'm going to stay there for the first minute, side to side. Deep breath in, deeper breath out. Allow everything to relax and align. All the way in, all the way out. Find that comfortable position for your head. Settle. Use the bolster to help you align. All right, yogis, when we're ready, when we found that comfortable position, we've got 3 options. 1, arms out in front, head down, relax into it. Option 2, forearms to the ground, relax into it. Option 3, all the way round, release, relax, keep breath in. Deep breath out. Into our bedroom. Healing in through nose. Out through mouth. Relaxing and releasing. Breathing in all the way in. All the way. Arms strong. Focusing on the base of the spine. At this point, this is a lot longer than you've ever done yoga in your life. And as you can already start to sense, there's a different sound in the room. There's a different feeling of comfort in the room. Start to expand into the space, expand into each other. In music theory, this is called entrainment. The frequency of the present starts to overtake what we bring into it. The sounds of our mind, the internal sounds, good or bad, that we brought into today. Everyone's always a little nervous starting something new. For me, the confidence is knowing that the journey's been had many, many times before. So we settle. We mellow. We focus on grounding our attention on our collective intention. ground ourselves into these new experiences. 2 to 1. Mind and body to breath. Past and future to the present. More seconds you'll use it great. Stay with the feet. Stay with the healing. Down, 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 down. All this teaching into the practice. Let's take a deep breath in one proper. Exhale, sigh it out. It's beautiful. Push back, relax. Downward dog, child pose. Take a deep breath in. And a deeper breath in. Cleansing. All that stagnation, all that congestion, all that holds you back is held in your back. Push it into the earth. Ground it. Posture by posture, you are learning what grounding is. What it is to ground something. Because this stuff lives inside of us and will continue to live inside of us. Samkhya philosophy, this is ancient yogic wisdom. This is called karma. It's our karma. It's what we've collected through our doing. It's only through our being that we can liberate this karma. These actions, these accidents, these mistakes, these learning lessons, these experiences that we have done to ourselves or have been done to us. The secret is they all come from the earth. And so whatever comes to the earth, you go back to it. And that's why yin is associated with gravity. Yang is associated with light. Gravity and light sun. This is why we sign it out. Sound of Han, sound of the sun. Release that energy. We're working with this invisible force of gravity. This is why grounding works. Because it's actually always happening. So let's take our final asana, yogis, which is sitting in meditation, taking the practice into the experience. To the seat of sitting, or lie down on your backs, your feet, onto the bolster, relax down to the ground. In Shavasana, the seat of meditation. Either way, you can meditate sitting up, or you can meditate lying. I want you to have this experience for yourself. Make you feel like doing it. Of course, the more yin version would be lying down. But there's always that potential for a little bit of yang. And that's sitting. Sitting peacefully, comfortably, calm. The only prerequisite is that it has to be. So if you're not comfortable sitting, then don't sit. If at any point the sitting becomes uncomfortable, and you can't make the uncomfortable comfortable, lie down. Lying down is a far more comfortable activity. Either way, let's relax for this. Take a deep breath in. against gravity. Feeling, healing, chest expands, abdomen expands, whether we're lying down or sitting. As we exhale, we go with gravity, we go with the flow. That's where the real grounding occurs, where you let it out. Every time you talk on an exhale. Every time you sneeze, happens on an exhale. Every time you urinate, defecate, it's all happening on exhales. Inhale rises you up, lifts you, expands you. Each exhale, opposite, contracts you, brings you downward and inward. Focus on being steady. Steady with the breathing, all the way in, and long and strong out. As you continue to relax and release, close your eyes, go inside. Focus on grounding. Our intention onto our intention. Starting with at the beginning. We achieve what we cultivated at the beginning of our practice. We set with our heart center, with our original seat. And we carry it with us, breath by breath, moment by moment, to this point. What is the experience? What is the quality of the silence and the spaciousness? Down towards the ground. Relax and release. That silence, that stillness, that spaciousness within yourself. This beautiful quality you've cultivated through your practice. Gravity flow through. Connected. Rejuvenated. Remembered. Clear and present to your presence. Present. As you be and breathe. As you be and breathe. Feeling youthful. Looking within. The dark. The deep. The feminine. The lunar aspects of ourselves. The gentleness. The softness. The yielding. Ground ourselves down, 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 into the ground. Good. Drinking it in, releasing it out. Nourished. Nurtured. That yogis bring our hands to our center. 3 Oms, just like we did at the very beginning. We started. We're going to take our break. Some of you would like to stay in the room a little longer. That's fine. I encourage you all to join Kelly and Ken down by the tree for some tea, some beautiful power, nutrient, healthy food to energize you for our second portion. This moment, each home is here to connect us, here to give gratitude, thanks, channeling all your intentions through the power of this frequency, this sound, this resonance, as we tune in to what's always there. Deep breath. Breath. Exhale, sigh it out. Deep breath. Relax your arms down at your side. One more time. Deepest breath. Holding, feeling. Exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful yogis. That concludes the first part of today's practice. We're going to continue to explore the concept of grounding and where it comes from. In the meantime, though, please follow Kelly and Ken down to the tree. Make it ready for some refreshments.
We're all good?
Well,
Beautiful. All right, yogis. So nice to see everyone. Namaste, everyone. So our flow moving forward will be, we won't have that intro. We're just going to get right in here and we'll get right into practice. And we'll get right into practice, whatever it is, and then we'll take our break. Today we're on a little bit of a later schedule just because we have to do housekeeping. But today is really just about an introduction, getting to know each other, getting to know the group. We're going to do a little partner work at the very end. But right now it's just our time to kind of take on what we kind of experienced today. So the first thing we experienced was this deeper feeling of grounding. And grounding really comes from the ability of increasing time, right? So this element of time. So what they say is there's 3 dimensions. It's just math. And there's 3 dimensions. There's forward, back, side to side. There's these planes. And Ken will talk to you about the anatomical aspect of it. To try and keep everything really simple in a language we all understand. So, we move forward. So in the 3 dimensions, we move forward. So our spine actually moves this way. So this is forward. So when we bow, we move forward. And this is called flexion. And then when we go backward, back bend, it's called extension. And then we start to rotate. We can rotate and twist. And this is another plane, and this is another plane. And then we can go side to side. But that's it. That's all 6 movements we can do with our spine. Technically, we can compress our spines, like we can hurt ourselves, but that's not yoga. So I never talk about doing that. I don't ever want to pay any attention to it because it's like, there's nothing that we're doing that's going to do this with our bodies, right? So we're always elongating, we're always expanding, we're always moving. So all these 6 movements, forward, back, side to side, and twisting, ultimately lead to the 7th movement. And the 7th movement is the magic. And the magic is the moment. And the moment is where your spine is straight. Now, of course, we have 4 curves in our spine. So the spine is never straight. There's no such thing as straight. Just like today's class, where we're talking, we're doing music, and you're breathing, and there's like the air conditioner on, and there's people walking. There's no real such thing as silence. It even gets to the point where some people get a little neurotic, like, I need silence. But we, as human beings, got so neurotic with silence that we created a chamber where there was no sound. The first person who walked in there, walked into this chamber with no sound. He came out super agitated. He's like, someone went wrong. I'm like, what went wrong? He's like, there's this sound. It's like a beating drum, and there's another one that's this high pitched, like, ee. Of course, the person turns to me and goes, that's you. That's you. There's 2 sounds in our bodies that will always be on. You can't hear it. It's so subtle. You have to get to the very deepest levels of like long meditation and be quiet. There's 2 sounds if you go into full deprivation. There's your heartbeat. You'll always hear your heartbeat. Heartbeat never stops beating. The second one is your nervous system. The nervous system is always firing. So technically, and this is where the poetic Alex comes in, silence is anything but silent. Silence is sound. And that's what we explore today with the Om. And this ability of saying something that is kind of always here and always around us. We're just acknowledging that there's this hum. And when we Brahmari today, we did 5 minutes, that's the internal Om. So we're basically just going, oh, but we're doing it internally. Right? So it's an internal Om. So whenever I teach yoga around people who are like uncomfortable with the whole, usually it's the Christians, right? Christians, Muslims, very religious aspects of people, and they're very uncomfortable with this concept of yoga. But they come, because they come. They love me or whatever. They come for whatever reason. But usually when it gets to like the oming and stuff, that's why I don't teach Oms in classes. But I do teach Oms in classes. I teach the Brahmari. Right? So the Brahmari is an internal Om. Right? So you don't need to call it what it is. You don't need to scare people. Because once they hear Om, they think, Hindu or whatever, whatever. Not that it's bad, just like, I can't associate with this, I'm not allowed. That's fine, no problem. Like, again, no problem. But you can still give the experience of it without calling it by its name, So the hum is always there, right? So it's this buzz, this frequency, this energy. It's very, very beautiful. So there's always a way to bend and twist the rules without breaking the rules. Okay? There's always a way to bend and twist without breaking the rules. And so what you experienced today was, again, like silence. Well, there's no such thing as real silence, guys. You can't break, no break in that. So the language, the tone, the constant repeating of some of the teachings, this puts you into a place where you're starting to go into you're not getting stimulated. You're no longer getting stimulated. You're actually going the other way now. Because you've heard it so many times, and it's all in the same tone, it's going down. And everything that's being taught is actually bringing you into a deeper frequency, deeper relaxation. And so when we walk in the room, and this is our lesson 2 today about being grounded. So yoga starts now in the present. We talked about that. But the second thing that yoga does, that it's here to do for us, is that it's to cease the oscillations of the mind. So even 2,000 years ago, before EEGs and before science, yogis were the original OG scientists. And one of the things, again, that we have to give credit for is they knew the brain worked in waves. So now we know it as beta, alpha, so it's beta, technically gamma, or it's a high pitch frequency. It's like beta, that's our steady, we're in beta right now, kind of. Alpha, we're more concentrated. And then we get into what we experience today, which is through the Brahmas, the theta state. This is more like the shamanic, dreamy, mystical, visionary. This is where we get intuitions, our brain slows down. And the concept of the brain slowing down is that you're actually now seeing or experiencing what is real. Because we're always interpreting it through our 5 senses. And so yoga is all about moving that energy of the senses through the five senses where our brain interprets things, and then calming those signals down, 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 so we can directly perceive reality without any interference. And that's why we say liberation, realization. That's the yin yang of yoga. Yoga is all about first you gotta clear through your own stuff, which is your own internal stuff, and then you'll be able to actually participate, experience in what life is. You know, stare at a beautiful sunset and just receive it for what it is and enjoy from it. Or see a tree or see a bird instead of being. Into this bliss of like, I need nothing, I want nothing, I'm free. And I don't need anything, I don't want anything, I'm just free. I hope nothing, I fear nothing, I'm free. Which is all about being present. It goes back to the first thing, being present. You can't be whole, you can't be yoga unless you're present. So this is the kind of key. So these oscillations cease, and then finally we get to the lowest state, which is delta, which we all experience when we go into sleep. Right? So when we go to sleep, we go to sleep. And we wake up 8 hours later, I'm like, whoa, came by like that. Right? So delta is the unconscious. So this is the lowest wave of frequency. And then of course the lowest wave is death. You're dead. Which means no brain activity. Nothing's happening. Right? There's no conscious, there's no energy. There's nothing feeding it anymore. Right? So this is what they call the spirit. Is actually like a frequency. And that's why the heart beats like a drum. That's why the nervous system has a very strong pitch that you play. That's what that is doing. That's what that is tuning into. It's a very high frequency, very soft. And so all of this magic brings us into the moment. And this moment for us, for yin, as we begin our journey, is grounding. So it's like planting a seed. Take the seed, plant it in the soil, ground it, grounding allows it to grow. And that's what we are today, day one. Plant the seed and let it grow. Okay? Does anyone have any questions so far? So what I said, I know some people are super eager, but I'm just going to keep going. Okay, cool. All right. So now I just want to share with you, and guys, please relax, please be super comfortable. But again, it's not what you see, but what you know. I just want to go through again just the journey of like, we got to this book. But this book comes much later. Yin Yoga is not part of an ancient tradition, okay? And Yin Yoga did not come from any Indian people, okay? Did not come from India. So again, if you have a problem with appropriation, like Yin Yoga isn't a complete appropriation, but not in the negative sense, in the most beautiful sense. Devoted Westerners, devoted people that dedicated their lives to Eastern mystical teachings and things. And having anatomy-based and science-based backgrounds, and creating something very, very special. And it's very, very new. So Yin Yoga has really been around for the last 20, 30 years. Okay, so it's a very, very new practice, and it's made a huge influence. Where can you go in North America and a studio that doesn't teach Yin, right? So it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. And I always say the opposite of Yin is Yang. So a Yang yoga would be, there's really two names: power or vinyasa. Power or vinyasa. Hatha yoga stands in kind of the middle. We'll continue to talk about this as we get into asana. That's your question. But right now, what we need to know is like Yin yoga is like a concept, and then restorative yoga kind of is one step more chill than Yin, right? Where you're always being supported. It's very, very like super long postures. And then the only thing more than that is just like straight up mindfulness, vipassana meditation training, where you just sit and sit and sit and sit, and there's only one asana, and that's all you have to do is sit, And that's why it goes all day. You stay for 7 days, however long the vipassana retreat is, right? But a lot of people who go to vipassana get very sore in their bodies, right? So they get very, very sore. So Yin yoga, yoga in general, has always been used to get the seat ready for meditation. Particularly sitting. I always integrate lying down because I feel as Westerners, like we've had very little time lying on the floor. Where they, India, Japan, are always on the floor, it's like, a staple. That it's normal to be on the ground. For us, it's very rare. So, it's very, very important to get the body ready. Lying on the ground, sitting, and just being still, being chill, being relaxed, not having to fidget all the time. So, Yin Yoga is actually the latest of a series of consciousness. And I always bring them in because I always give, this is respect to the teaching, this is the thing. And before I do this, I will give respect to the land. We're here on our original land with indigenous people. Indigenous people are my people. I love the Indigenous people. Anishinaabe, I've trained a lot with. Ask me about it if you have any questions. Island, Toronto is a meeting place of many tribes. And I just want to honor the additional land because it's very, very important to honor the land because the land is spirit. So whenever we acknowledge the land is always good to us. And it always says that it likes to be things, you know, but so does everyone. So it's that kind of universal beautiful teaching. I think we thank Ken today for helping us out with the teacups. You know, thank you. And that thank you comes back, you know. So very, very grateful. So I just want to acknowledge that. So, where does it all begin? So this book, the Bhagavad Gita, again, this will all come out in email, so you don't have to worry about it. If you want to write it down, you can take notes. But ultimately, it's being recorded, so everything's here. The Bhagavad Gita is the original OG yoga. So this is the first time yoga was ever written. It's not yoga practice. Yoga practice can date back even earlier than this, because there's little clay creatures that they found, like clay statues. There's like people sitting in lotus pose. So technically, that's the symbol of yoga, like someone sitting and meditating, right? Or, you know, martial arts or meditation, whatever you want to call it. But basically, like, this thing has been going on for a very long time. And Indigenous people trace back their lineage 3 million years, so it doesn't make sense in our Western history, you know. For them, we don't come from Dharma. It's a different story, okay? And again, I'm not here to teach that. I'm here to teach you in yoga, but if you're interested in all that, it's very, very fascinating. There's YouTube videos, whole bunch of things that you can ask me. I can guide you toward things if you're interested. The history of yoga, the history of, you know, human beings. There's many, many stories, not just the one they tell us. Even though that's a good one too. There's lots of stories. Okay, so I'm not here to tell you which one's right. I am here to teach you. So that's what I am. So original OG story is the Bhagavad Gita. I love the story. It's a very beautiful book. This is a story between man and God. It's basically happened like 2,000 plus years ago, and it's a story of a warrior. You hear me talk about the warrior sometimes. Even like on the picture, you can see the yoga posture. You saw me playing a flute, and that was all on purpose because I believe in the original OG yoga. And OG yoga is like Krishna, and the flute is the call. And you know, people who hear the call, you all heard the call. You're here today, and that call comes from within, and there's something in you. And that's where this book comes in. He talks about that there's what we call God in this story. What we call God in this story is actually inside of us. And that the whole journey of yoga is to bring the yoga between ourselves and God as one. There's no separation. So you can see this as like heaven and earth. You can see this as your lover and your beloved. You can see this as your work and your purpose, right? It's this ability of not seeing things as separate. And so this ability of bringing it together. It's done through something called Kriya Yoga, which is cleansing. So it's cleaning all the things that basically keep us in separation and suffering. Suffering is another word for separation. And just keep us like out of our divinity, out of our specialness, out of our wholeness. So this is a really beautiful book. Depends on what translation you get. There's lots, I've read lots. This one's my favorite. If you're interested in more studies, this one's very good. So this is where yoga starts. From there, yoga then gets codified into a series of practices, aka asana, aka pranayama. There's no asana in the Bhagavad Gita. Original OG yoga has no asanas. There's no postures. There's just courage to do our duty. And this is the OG yoga and meditation. Lots of meditation. On what is real. So you have to liberate yourself and realize things. It's all meditation in your relationship with God, Krishna. This one, that was a little different. This one strips it all. There's no more Krishna in the story. There's no more God in the story. Now it's just Ishvara, which is like this higher like thing. Could be translated as consciousness. Could be translated as many things, but it's just something like higher than oneself. But it's not labeled. So this really is the science of yoga. That's why yoga gets called science, because this actually has no religion to it. There's no religion to this book. But, very interesting enough, there is kind of a 10 Commandments thing going on with this book. But at that time, remember, this is a very powerful consciousness, you know. And you gotta think, what were humans like, 2,000 years ago? So, you know, there's this thing about yamas and niyamas that starts the book. And there, you know, if you know the 10 Commandments, come from a more Western tradition, you kind of can make these parallels with them. very, very closely. Again, I'm not going to teach you this, but very, very fascinating if you want to learn this. We're going to ask me questions in a little bit. However, the next part, yama, the third limb of yoga, so there's 8 limbs of yoga. This whole book's about 8 limbs of yoga. The next limb is asana. So yoga starts with asana. That's what we do. We do asana. We do postures. Postures get us ready for breathing. That's why we go, oh, Alex's classes, we do all this breath work. It's like, guys, there's no such thing as breath work. It's pranayama, and it actually is the, like, this is the whole, like, there's no, like, when you go to India, there's no such thing as not doing that. You know, there's no class that doesn't include the breath the whole time. So it goes asana, it goes pranayama, and then it goes into pratyahara, which is turning the senses inward. So you actually take all 5 senses and you literally close them up, you shut them down, and you go inward. So you go all the way into oneself. And then once you do that, you concentrate, which is dharma. And concentration is on a single point. And so what do? We concentrate on the breath, so loops, right? So we learn these pranayamas and then we learn to concentrate on it. But you can do different forms of concentration. You know, my favorite one's the breath. Why do I always tell you? Because we're already breathing. We're already breathing, so it's not something we're adding to it. You're not adding a candle, you're not playing music, you know, music go off and on. Candle doesn't go off and on. And so we're doing something that, you know, doesn't go off and on. So breathing does not go off and on, so we do that, concentrate on that. Once you're able to single point concentration, then you get into meditation. What meditation is dhyana, which is this ability to no longer have a subject-object relationship. There's no more me and the thing I'm concentrating on. And all of you have experienced that. Breathing, you're doing the long, deep breathing thing, and then all of a sudden you're not doing it. You don't remember not doing it. And that moment happens, that's when you know you're in meditation. Now the moment you know you're in meditation, you might be like, I'm in meditation, and then all of a sudden you're not in meditation anymore, right? So it's a funny place to just like not have to like worry about if I am or if I'm not, but we all go through this, so it's all good. I, like for the longest time when I started my spiritual path, I was like, am I meditating? Am I just falling asleep? Like, what's the difference? So I totally understand that, and over time and practice, you'll know the difference. There's a big difference. But again, not obvious at first. So there's meditation, and then there's one more level, and which is samadhi. And samadhi's like absorption. So it's no longer like the subject-object exists. It's like your awareness of no subject-object, you're just like in it, then goes like one stage higher into the universal. So you, again, the Atma and the Brahma, the inner and the outer become one. So, okay, I'm just going to quick. Just imagine this is a water bottle, right? This is a water bottle. It's full of water. And it's full of water, and it's on the ocean. Okay. Now, you, me, our spirit is inside of us. Right? So we start to do this yoga thing. We're bending the bottle, but we don't realize we're trying to get the water out of the bottle. We don't realize like what we're really trying to do is liberate ourselves because there's something wrong with the water. For whatever reason, maybe it has like some food coloring in it, or maybe there's some stuff in the water, or it's pop, who knows. We drank some pop at one point, we never got the pop out. So sugar in it, it's molding in, whatever. But the lid's on and you can't get it out. So we're on this water journey, we're doing this yoga thing, we're doing these postures, and then as we're doing these postures and this breathing and this pratyahara, this inwarding and this, you know, concentration, this meditation, then all of a sudden there's this moment where we get the lid off. So what happens if the water bottle has a lid off and it's floating in the sea? What's going to happen to the water inside? Water outside is going to go into the inside, and the water inside is going to go into the outside. The longer you keep the lid off, more that the water that was there is no longer there. Okay? The water that was there is no longer there. So when the cap comes on, the water now is totally transformed. It's now the water from the outside, not the inside anymore. Okay? It's been totally liberated. Okay? So the cap goes back on, you leave samadhi, you come back from samadhi, pure motion, pure liberation, realization. You come back and we start having a conversation. So now everything is there. So now the question I ask always when someone does experience this state is the very thing that got you all the way to this place, the water from the outside of the bottle to the sea, that now is now inside you. So it's God energy, this higher power, whatever it is, and now is inside you. and now you're cleansed and cleared of all your trauma, all your pain, all your suffering, right? It once started, now it's gone, right? So now take the lid off, got all into samadhi, and now you put the lid back on. Where'd that water originally come from? The water originally came from the sea. It's just been in the bottle for so long that it changed. And then it thinks it didn't, like the water from the sea is so blue and pure and amazing. This water is black and dirty and ugly and yellow and green and purple and white, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is tainted, this thing. No, it just hasn't had that absorption yet. It hasn't been released yet from the body. The soul and the spirit, the Atma and the Brahma, the yoga is not yet happening. And that, when that happens, that samadhi happens, what you really realize is that the water that was there is just as beautiful and wonderful and everything, and the water from outside of it will take that water and make it blue. It's only an illusion that it's a different color. The illusion is that the cap is on, and the cap is our minds. The cap is, our lives, the human part of ourselves. It does and has things. The more we do, the more we have, the more imprisoned we become, right? Because we're always trying to protect it, like a dragon. Protect all so much. I have no use for it. I'm a dragon. Why do I have all this food? There's no purpose to it all, but I have to hoard it. I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Do I have it, do I have it? Like you hear me say all the time. That's the human part. The being part liberates us from that. The being part liberates us from that. So that's why none of this can really happen. The things can't happen unless you're grounded. Okay? So that's why in this story, the grounding is the yamas and niyamas. You do these yamas and niyamas, these kind of 10 commandments, and then you're ready for yoga. Different ones, like not harm, you have to stop harming things, you have to be clean, you have to not steal, you have to not possess, not harass, you have to be observant, you have to be this, you have to be all these things. And then once you are all these things, then you can begin the path of yoga. Okay? Then the guru will take it. So this is great, this is amazing, it's like the coolest book, and this is where all Hatha Yoga sort of starts from. However, there's a very, very special book that came in between. There's some amazing other ones too, but this is where our lineage comes in through the Yin Yoga. And there was this book. This book's called the Hatha Padapika. This is, you see, Hatha Yoga. So all asana, like what we study is asana, the shoulder stand, the fish pose, the child pose, the downward dog, even though other people say it came from this, it does. Obviously it does. But the yogis also knew what these postures were. They only codified 16 in this book, or whatever it is, 32. But trust me, they knew all of these postures. They've been watching animals in the forest. They knew a lot of things for a long time. But this book came along and really made it about, hey, we're no longer doing the 10 Commandments thing, the Yama Niyama thing. It's just about, 4 things. It's 4 things. They kind of stripped away those things and just made it about this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. And then, one of the things is, asana, right? We gotta get the body strong. We gotta get the body diamond cut, super strong, free of all impurities. Because it's really the body that's causing us to suffer. Be like monkeys or, whatever kind of animal creature that's just having fun in the forest, just enjoying its life, not having any evolution. Whatever, not judging, just saying. So, these 4 things are really, really powerful. So in this book, which I love about it, and studied it, it starts with asana, moves to pranayama, and it goes into mudra, which is basically your hands going into symbols, and then bandhas, which are internal holds. So it's a super simple practice, which is basically just a little bit more advanced than what I'm teaching. I'm big, if I strip it down between detox and yin, you're doing Hatha Yoga all the time. You're I'll show you where I do the bandha thing. In class when I make you squeeze everything, that's me doing a really simple form of bandha. When we put our hands on our hearts, or we do our little hand in prayer, that's our mudra, right? And then there's other ones too as we start, and then with the breathing, you guys know, that's our breathing work, and then the asanas, right? So it's all Hatha Yoga. All yoga technically is Hatha Yoga. There's not a yoga in the world that if they're doing asana, it's coming from here. Originally, but it's grown from here. That's what brings us to our last book. Well, our second last book. How did I find this book? Well, there was this guy from India, his name was Vishnu Ketu, and he was my teacher's teacher, and he became my teacher. And this is his book. It's fantastic. and this man can bend. You know, he's a true yogi in the sense of the word of the awesome. He can do every single yoga posture there is. It's amazing. He has it all here in this book codified. So this is his book. He's a very beautiful man. It's very lucky to study with him. As I told some of you downstairs, he's the one that, after our training, called me Satalanand. That was my yogi name, which means cool bliss. It's actually a super cool thing. And I was like, all right, I'm cool bliss. He's like, I'm giving it to you because you're not, And, that's the way, He's like, my name's Vishvaketu because I'm not Vishvaketu, We're always given our name because we're not. We're growing into it. So, that was the gift. So that's why I said to somebody, that's why I don't do vinyasa. That's why I don't do it. I can love it. It's the best. But for me, it's like, I need the yin. I need the restorative. I need to be the sound. The chill. So that's why I do what I do. And the more I do it, the more, quote unquote, what we call successful I am. Because it's really helps balance my energy, and I'm the best version of myself when I'm in these kind of more cultivating practices. And that, no coincidence why yin yoga came to me first. That was my journey as a teacher, this program. Again, when I did this, no desire to be a teacher. Here I am, 18 years later, the teacher. You know what I mean? Like, full time, all day. So, for a lot of you who are like, I'm not going to be a teacher. No, can't say you won't be. You may never know. I loved it a lot. So, it's really, really good. So, this book's really special. It's broken down on a lot of things. I don't give out homework. I don't force anyone to read the book. But if you would like to read the book, read chapter 1. Start with chapter 1. Just read chapter 1. Just start nice and slow. Okay, everyone? That's for the asana stuff and everything else. Don't get overwhelmed. There's a lot that, this is a manual, so you don't have to read the whole thing. It's not like a book to book where you read it cover to cover. I'll tell you what's up. Again, just even skip the intro because you got the intro. I gave you the intro. You want to read his intro? Great. It's a great intro. But you won't know who's talking about. You won't have any reference to that. But, for today, this is your intro. Read chapter 1. It's fascinating. It's really, really beautiful. And then, of course, during the week, you can talk to me about chapter 1. I would love that. You know what I mean? If you hear anything about chapter 1, read anything about chapter 1, I would love to hear about chapter 1. But it's not forced. If you don't read the book, many people don't read the book, it's totally fine. If all you get is this and what we're about to do, that's all it's all about. Okay? So we're doing good on time. 7, we got an hour. Perfect. Okay. So, any questions about this? No? Okay. I'm going to go around the room right now, and I'm going to ask each of you, what are you most interested in learning now that I told you this whole thing? What is the thing that excites you the most? I'm just going to give you a quick example. It can do nothing about yoga, okay? For example, me and Andrew. Andrew's thing was, I'm not very flexible, I didn't think I should take the course. I was like, Andrew, it's nothing to do with being flexible. It has to do with I'm gonna hang out with me for 5 hours. We're gonna be talking, we're gonna be philosophizing. It's like ancient Greece, man. We're gonna be at the Acropolis, we're gonna be in the Temple of Delphi, we're gonna be having all these experiences and da-da-da-da. It only happens once, no matter how much I try and duplicate it. It never happens the same way. And he was like, oh, I'm doing these theater classes. And I'm like, oh, amazing. Well, yoga is a lot like improvisation. It's the ultimate improv in the world because the greatest teachers literally plan nothing. They just won't any great master, martial arts, anything, musician. They just go, plop themselves in front of it, close their eyes, feel the room and go, and then it just starts flowing out of them. They just feed off their own momentum because it's in the moment. So I told him this and he was like, oh, that sounds so cool. That's amazing. And it was great. So I'm so glad we had that moment to have that moment because a lot of people think oh, I have to be a teacher. Oh, you tell me about this. So I just want to know in the room, just go around the room real quick. Now that I've talked about all this, now the practice, what are you most excited about on this journey?
Because it became something that I was spending so much of my time doing, I found that I hadn't really gone and taken the next step and fully understood it. It was a physical practice, and I was seeing benefit from it physically, mentally, emotionally. It really kind of fast-tracked what I was trying to do. I saw it as one part of it. It kind of aligned everything. So really understanding where all this stuff comes from and getting to practice it with you and this small group here was really
And if you don't mind, like before we go, just to learn everyone's name, get everyone. So this is Eric. So hi, I'm Eric, and he'll say things. So, I'm Michelle, and what is most exciting about you?
What's most exciting about me?
Like for this, like what are you most excited about now that I've kind of laid out the land and the plan?
Yeah, just connecting.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. You know, we can all say that it'll help us remember. So thank you, Eric. Thank you, Michelle. I really want us to be friends. Beautiful. Hi, I'm Tamelia. Easy.
I had two operations and spinal
Yeah.
to last 1 year ago.
Yes.
But I do exercise yoga more time.
Yes.
I have traveled Indian yoga tour
Beautiful.
with my teacher yoga,
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful woman. I love it. And yoga helped me my
Self.
yes my leg, my hand, my shit, no. My body, I stretch, I
Healing heart.
yes,
Yes.
feeling good, and yes, because me, 51 years
Yes.
old, me,
Yes.
I had 2 children, 27, my son,
That.
but
Yeah.
my daughter 20 years, and blood with me. This first time to my son, because my son lazy,
Mm-hmm.
very. My daughter is not.
Yeah. No.
Yoga not. It's very.
She likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I loved yoga. I love it to exercise yoga. I love
Meditation.
meditation. It's so.
No, you did good. Come here. Round of applause. Thank you. So even with her son Vlad, as much as he says he's lazy, Vlad puts my glasses all the time. So, I think it's just, with some people, it's just like they need to find the right person, right thing, right energy.
I asked myself, what come with me?
Yeah. I said two, but maybe next year. That's what I said to him. Hey, this one's for Mom. Next year might be for you. And he was like, okay. So, thank you, Tamelia. You're saying it correct. Correct. Thank you, Tamelia. Beautiful.
Ashley, sorry. I think I focused a lot on my job for a long time, and then I had a lot of health issues because of the stress and just putting my job first. And then I've done yoga on and off forever. And joining this gym got me right back into it, and I am just looking to better myself health-wise and focus and make that the most important thing instead of my job.
Work is your practice. Beautiful. Thank you, Ashley.
My name is Rebecca. I'm looking forward to learning, to being around positive, like-minded people, and I'm also looking forward to just the awesome.
Nice. Thank you, Rebecca. Beautiful. Thank you, Rebecca.
My name is Andrew, and I'm very happy to be in this space at this time. That's one of the biggest draws of coming here, being part of this program. When maybe roughly a year and a half, I've been coming to offices in classes, and they have been transformative in my life. It's really helps me just let go of things and just enjoy life. So, I always leave class feeling like a new person, being reborn again. And the idea of doing that for a longer period of time, for me, it's not going to be every week. I can only come to half these classes. But Alex mentioned at the time earlier, this was actually kind of transformative, especially given how things were at ALTEA. He'd be like, oh, if you leave class late, or if you have to leave class early, it's better to do, 30 minutes than 0. It's better to just need a little bit. And of course, I would always just come to the class once a week. But so it's been just a really great thing for me. I want to understand it a little bit more. I want to spend more time in this space because I think it's been good for me. So I just want to be in it more and in the people who are also on that journey.
The constellations.
Thank you.
Start the constellation. Thank you, Andrew. Beautiful. Thank you. It's beautiful.
Hi, Sue. Yeah, I just really wanted to do this. I was a bit nervous about taking it because of the, again, making it to the classes and having enough flexibility and to do the full postures and everything. But yeah, I mean, I think the more time and the more into it, the more you can absorb, the better. I mean, it can only get better. And I really, I really enjoy the aspect of the breath work and the sound as well. I think it's a whole package. And I feel like it does. It changes who you are and how you see the world. And I really like the community here and, all the instructors and just the community at all. It's really helpful, I think, in keeping you grounded and not letting, like kind of the more stressful things take over. You're like, no, this is for me. Like I deserve this and I need this. And I feel like it's such a welcoming environment that, 5 hours in a day, okay. I feel like that'll kind of help that give a bit of balance to my life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Someone that actually, I've treated my body like a machine for the past decade or so. And I think in order to do that, there created a really big separation between my mind and my body. And I'm really grateful that I made a discovery about a year ago that it's not sustainable and I need to change that. Yeah, so I'm having fun exploring in this realm, and when I discovered these classes, I got really excited, and yeah, I'm just excited to explore.
Beautiful. And your name?
Reza.
Reza. Thank you, Reza. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to shoot it off to Kelly. Carla, you can't go wrap us up.
So I am excited about so many pages. Try to keep it concise. I love yoga. I love learning about all of this consciousness, the practices, the structure has been so supportive for me in my life and helping with my mental health and just helping me find my purpose and being able to help others and share these tools and share these practices. So to be in this environment with other like-minded souls, to learn from a true master teacher, like a true Western yogi, it's just a beautiful opportunity. And so I'm just excited to be here with all of you and experience this and share and learn together. So.
Thank you. I'm Paola. I'm not only here to film, but I'm here to be here.
Here's our photographer, everyone watching at home. There she is.
This is my 5th time with Alex doing the program. I was actually participating the other 4 times, so this is kind of new. But for me, it's at least, like, I know I'm on the camera, but for me, it's about being in the environment, the stillness. I need a lot more stillness and patience. You know, the 5 hours feels like a long time, so it's good to just surrender to the time and just be in it. And it's a really beautiful community. We all connect. You know, the other 4 renditions were amazing. You really connect with the people around you, and you learn a lot about the postures and a lot about yourself. And it's a really good way to spend the Saturday. So I'm excited. It's going to be a great program.
Thank you, Paola.
Hi, I'm Kent. What I'm excited for is to attempt to keep up. The biggest thing is just trying to make sure that we can tie everything into what Alex has. For his delivery and his vision is very broad, and he does a good job of hitting on everything. So I'm going to do what I can to supplement in very practical things along the way. So I'm up for the challenge, and it's really cool getting to know some of you, just in little snippets. I look forward to just kind of interpreting and understanding where you're all coming from and what you're dealing with, because that's what I'm here for. So.
You can. With that, you're coming up with me.
Cool.
So we're going to show you what we're going to do. So today's class is all about grounding. So one of the things I want to first show you is to connect with each other. So Ken is going to be my partner. He's going to lie down in Shavasana. So again, we're going to start with the most grounded pose. Okay, so Shavasana. Number 1 posture, we start our yin journey. You can't get more yin than this. The only one we can get, and that's what we'll look at, is when you flip it. You lie down on your belly. Okay? This is the most grounded. Why is it the most grounded? Because it literally translates as corpse pose. It means you're dead. But the death is to the body and the mind, right? The oscillations of any doing and having, and you fully go into surrender. Okay? And so you're going to take your books really quick, and you're going to open up the last page, because guess what the riddle answer is of the Sphinx of the whole universe, where the unstoppable force meets the immovable object? Guess what the answer is? Surrender. So we are grounding, and at the end of this book, by the end of this course, we are surrendering. So we're going to go full circle with the energy. So make sure you put your word there, surrendering, at the back. Very, very important. Anchor the energy. F-U-R-E-N-D. I-N-G. Surrender. All right. Any crazy little. So I'm going to show you what I have in store, and then I'm going to lie down and Ken can talk about some of the mechanics too on top of it. There are me. I always like to teach things from a very practical level. So again, there's not much to teach in Shavasana, right? Obviously, we just lie down. But there's a few things we do, and you hear it in class with me. One of the things is your arms are wings, your fingers are feathers. Now, when I say that, again, this is a little bit more energizing because your arms are above your head, right? But one of the reasons I started teaching it that way was because of a TED Talk video. And in this TED Talk video, we were talking about power posing. One of the things is that, your body really doesn't know the difference, but there's between, winning a gold medal at the Olympics or your hands are just being up. There was a phenomenon that they were studying of why is it that when someone wins a lottery, when someone wins a gold medal, when someone, any sort of amazing triumph occurs, this is always the natural reaction a human being makes. So it's this kind of phenomenon that's been occurring. And so they trace it down to neurotransmission and all this stuff. So that's why I teach it that way in class, because again, especially at the beginning of the class, it's really something that's very energizing. But at the end of the class, you'll notice I don't really teach it, because at the end of the class, we're not really trying to stimulate more energy, we're actually trying to down it. So you'll very rarely hear me make that cue of the arms, but that's why I make it at the beginning. So here, it's irrelevant. What we're going to learn here is just a beautiful way to understand Shavasana by helping out a friend. You might have a friend, a partner that's going through a lot of stuff in life. You yourself might be going into life. Some of you might become really good friends. Many of you might even go on to teach. At the end of the day, this is a super cool way to learn this. He'll talk about the body mechanics of it a little bit, but I'm just going to show it all to you, and then we're going to partner up. I always pick your partners, so there's no anxiety around that, so don't worry. It's kind of a cool. And then you're going to do it to each other.
So what we do is we start with the legs. So whenever we work with a person, you know, we get consent. Obviously the consent is we're here in the programs, thumbs up, whatever. But at the end of the day, if I'm in class with you guys, I always go like, hey, can I assist you? Can I help you? You know, can I support you? I usually don't do this because all of a sudden, you know, 5-30 people in the room, someone thinks, oh, I like Sue more than I like Andrew, and then, you know, it's like this, you know, why is Alex helping her and not him, and da-da-da-da-da. So it's like, I try and keep this to these programs. But I used to do this a lot of time in my earlier career before, like, I started to feel the jealous energy, and I was like, it's not that big of a deal. But it's just human nature, so I just don't do it. But in class sizes that are small, my rule is if I'm going to help one person, we're usually going to help everyone. So that's my rule. So that's when I help. So here, we're going to do it to each other, so it's all good, and we'll be here helping you eke out the cats. So what I'm going to do is show you what's happening. So for a lot of people, they have a hard time lying down on the ground, right? They have a lot of time grounding. So one of the best things we can do for our bodies is lie on the ground. It's one of the best things in the world for our body. It just really, really helps us. And that's why when we're really stressed, really tense, it's one of the last things we want to do. You don't want to sit on the couch, want to curl up, you don't want to get all cozy, like you want to get like all supported. But one of the best things actually to do is just to drain the energy, out of the body. It tends to be the most the most less sensitive place, so desensitized place in our bodies is our backs. There's like very little back there neuronically that, you know, makes us feel that actual stress is going on our bodies and our backs, right? And that's why we say, figuratively, we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, right? Our backs, make us carry that load. We don't know. So, what we're gonna do, the first thing we're gonna do, there's a few techniques. One of the best ones is you grab someone's heels, and again, if you don't feel comfortable sitting like this, squat, you just stand, right? But make sure when you stand, it's like a horse stand. It's not like a forward fold because you put pressure on your back. And you're just gonna gently pull. And this is, you know, I'm gonna call it traction, Ken would call it a million words, but you're just gonna gently pull. So I'm just leaning back using his weight, and Ken puts feedback emotionally. How does it feel? It's a big release. It's a big release. Feels great. Okay? So it feels really, really good. So that's the one thing we're gonna do. And this is just nice to do for a friend. If they're going through a lot of stress, rather than just talking to them and drinking wine, maybe making things worse, you know, or, you know, it's Canada, it's legal, you know, smoking a joint, you know, like whatever it is. There's other things too we can do. Not that those are bad things, but you know, there's other things you can do for someone to help them out. And this is a nice thing. It's very safe, it's very comfortable, it feels really good. You can also just gently sway the legs, nice and easy, side to side. And once you get talking, it just feels really, really good. So again, you're just lengthening from the base of the spine up to the heels. So that's the first thing. If you do it from the heels, from here, you know, you can be, you know, you can rest on your legs. I like this one a little bit more for me. Just give it a nice little tug and just, you know, just pull and you can hold it. You can ask them, how's it feel? And you can have a little talk with each other. And the person is going to be in bliss. Like, they love it. Everyone loves it. And us doing it, you always feel like, do they like it? Are you doing it right? You just lean back. And again, you just lean back and just chill. Use your body weight, okay? So that's the first part. Then you let the legs go down, just relax. Good. And then we go over here to the top of the head. These are really the two areas that need the little lengthening. So you'll go behind someone, and there's something called the occipital ridge at the back part of their head. So it's basically where your neck is connected to your head, okay? It's the spine. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your hands, your fingers, and there's a very distinct ledge right at the back. You're just gonna take that ledge and you feel it with your hands. And you're just gonna gently put your hands there and just hold it. It's basically just taking their head off the ground for like an inch off the ground. Feels amazing. Love it. Right? And just gently, you don't have to pull too hard or anything, you just basically hold that. The difference is now he feels like he's floating. And in psychological terms, which is also interesting, if you're talking to someone like this is why old school talk therapy, Freudian talk therapy, was always done with the psychologist behind the person lying down. Because there's a phenomenon that occurs where if I'm behind you and I'm talking to you behind you, you're more vulnerable and you're more open and you actually disassociate psychologically to the person you're talking to. So if you ever want to get the truth from someone, this is probably the best way to get it, you know? Teaching you another little psychological phenomenon.
Don't forget the wine.
And don't forget the wine, yeah, a little bit beforehand. A little truth. All right, so you do that, just enjoy it, talk to your partner, how's this feel? Again, these little things you'll be surprised in life when they'll come to you and you'll be like, so bad at that thing. You just relax down, chill. Third one is you just press the shoulders. And this one feels really good too. You can just hold someone. Again, no creepy fingers. You don't want to tickle someone's armpits, right? We always say creepy fingers. Just, press through the palms, nice and easy. You might forget, that's okay. We're far away from the breast area, so, just nice and easy. Yeah, just right on the shoulders. You'll feel it. It'll just drop. And you just put weight to it. That feels really good. And again, all this is teaching you grounding. You'll teach it to yourself by feeling it, and you'll teach it what it is. Just grounding it into the earth, pushing it down. That's why people love weighted blankets. It's the same thing. It's very grounding. Very grounding. Okay. And then our last one. There's a soft place in the head. This one's a little bit more advanced. There's a soft place in the head, so if you take, someone's hairline, and it's basically like, I would say 1 thumb, 2 thumb, 3 thumbs. Once you get the 3 thumb, it's just there, and you'll feel it's like a little ridge. It's a very soft part in your own head, so you can feel it. So if you have your hairline, I don't have much of a hairline anymore, but if you have your hairline, 1, 2, 3, it's a soft little area. If you rub your hand, you'll feel a little divot. Feel that on your head? So if you put, there's a little divot here. A little divot. This is like a soft palate, there's soft tissue here.
Also, temple.
Yeah.
To crown.
Temple to crown, yeah. So this is, what you do is, and again, that's the next part, take your 2 fingers to the temples, you take your thumbs here, you just gently, you can do a little, like a soft rotation, or for me, just simply putting the hands here, and the thumbs here, it affects all the soft tissue in the cranium. You can do this for children, for babies, you'll really see it on a baby. But you just apply a little bit of pressure, you would be amazed. You can take away people's migraines, headaches. If they've had a hard day, even just 2 minutes of light pressure, they're gonna go right into like the most magical place. It's one of my favorite things to do. If you ever get treated by me, it's always something how I finish my treatments. And then I do this little thing where I go like, and I pull it up to a star and connect it. But again, that's not necessary. All right, so that's that. Do you want to go through with them anatomically or? Anatomically. Yes, anatomically. He's already got it.
Okay.
Do you want to grab the mic?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, that's more for the video.
Oh yeah. Can you hear me?
Just going to see your tongue shows.
So the most important thing, especially in Shavasana, is just understanding that you're giving in with your nervous system to the actual true weight of your body. But we're still holding tension all the time. We're still interpreting stimulus constantly. So if you notice, you did a great job of starting with the feet. We are on our feet. We are engaging and expressing life through and up into the floor. Like, we cannot escape that. So if you want to get somebody to relax in this position, you got to offload everything at the base of the transition between their lower body and their upper body. So that would be their hips and their pelvis. So what he put us through was our breakdown. I typically always kind of want to use more of my body weight, so I like to do squats for this. The versions he showed you are great. This is just the easiest way to leverage your own body weight. And it's just a simple tug. And all we're doing is taking the chain, basically the back of the legs, and allowing for that to create a little bit of yank on the lower back, and this actually neutralizes the pelvis. We've all seen different sort of expressions of what the pelvis looks like. Let's go through them. So there's the idea of like a tilting forward, and this is where most people sit because what are we often doing? We're sitting down. And when we do that, we dominate through the front of our thighs, and we end up in seated chair positions. That strength then forces us into this tilt. So if we can ask for a little bit more room there, we immediately disengage the body from what it's probably done in North America the majority of the day. So really helpful way to ask someone's system to calm down. When we nurture that space at the root of the spine, this is a big conduit for nervous activity, we want to then go on to the next level. And so as we're trying to sort of like appreciate the length of the spine, and this is what Alex was talking about at the beginning. There's a sweet spot. Remember all those little spinal motions that he's going through? We've got our like flexions, we've got our extensions, we've got our side bends, our rotations. The most important one is a combination of all of these things. And it's actually called axial extension. And it's everything working together to create a union of force all the way up. And this creates all the space necessary nerves to leave your spine, your body have room for movement, for fluid to exchange through all of the compartments of our body. And so we want to have this at full peak whenever we can. Obviously, life gets in the way, certain shapes are needed, and we will enter into those compressions. But you can always move, you can always challenge that. So between that little yank, that's a great way for us to set the tone at the base of the spine. And now we're going to work on what Alex took us through, is that occipital release, which should be everyone's favorite for Shavasana. So there's that occipital ridge, which is the base of the skull. One of the most important things about this position is the fact that it's where the vast majority of your nerve ends and your neck are going to be. So if you think about it, your head, pretty big, important part of your sensory consciousness. Like, you know, your brain thinks it's pretty important. It kind of is. So we have to find ways of dialing back its sense of need for support. When you do it for someone, the muscles don't have to. So right off the bat, we allow for two large components of just postural stress, functional stress to be removed. We can get into this later about what it means to actually detone a nervous system. The thing that I would, and I'll come around to all of you when you're in your groups, is it's a neat little trick. You can always work on thinking about subtle tuck the chin in and scooping back the skull up. And what that does is actually puts traction on the nervous system, and when that releases, the body gets a beautiful reflush. Because there's fluid going up and down this central spinal cord, and we're trying to allow it to express itself as freely as possible without running into every little bend in the river. So if we can actually open that up, you get a much better opportunity to integrate. We often do this at the beginning. It's a good way to figure out where you are, and you'll notice almost every yoga class ends this way, because we are now interpreting what just happened over the course of that practice and allowing it to then take a grounded essence in where we're going to go next. So if you can give someone that extra little boost to just detone, you have saved them what you did for a matter of seconds would take them minutes. So it's really helpful to just take the nervous system off edge whenever you can, and this is the beauty of being able to support and actually be present for other people, interpreting their nervous system through your nervous system to alleviate things very quickly. The next one is the shoulders, and as someone who is professionally not perverted, this is my entire job, okay? You really want to make sure that when you approach someone, you don't just immediately go in with pressure and hands down, okay? Try to, one, make sure that they know you're here, and when you do plant pressure, always push down and away. Because if I push down and in, one, I'm pushing on the rib cage. This isn't very helpful. It can feel very claustrophobic for people who might have breathing issues or some sort of trauma. Always push down and away, and you will actually create a lot of room for their body's ability to release another huge space of tension. So if the hips are a big area where you take stress, your shoulders are too. So when we allow the nervous system to just take root without having to put in any work to hold up the shoulders and the collarbone, we assist them in detoning and getting to the next level or depth of relaxation, which is what you're ultimately trying to do. You're not going to learn when somebody's yelling at you or chasing you. You're going to learn when you have room to explore and expand in typically safe environments. So that's what you're trying to foster at all times. So there's lots more that you can do. This is one of the best positions ever. It's literally my bread and butter, but we'll go on to the next one.
Beautiful. Thank you, brother. Okay. Your master plan. Perfect. You can just leave that microphone down. Just so perfect. So now we're going to go into our group work. So we're going to partner up. 2. Let's do. Let me see. What I'm going to do. Let me put. Let's go this way. 2. 2. 2. Perfect. Now, there's many reasons why I think for this particular activity, same, different, but perfect. So let's do that. Let's connect together. Again, introduce ourselves once again to our partners. We should assume that they know who we are. I am this, I am this. Connect with each other. Pick one, pick two. Who's player one, who's player two.
and I will call it out one by one, so everyone's on the same page. We're working at the same pace. So take 10 seconds to introduce yourself to your partner. I just just keep it there. Awesome. Kelly will come around. Kev will come around. I'll come around. I'm going to be more the maestro. So, player one, you're on the mat. Player two, you're up top. If you're not, you're already lying down. You can be player one, you can be player two. Good. When you're ready, player one, you're going to relax and chill. Player two, you have, and I'm going to time this, you have 2 minutes. Let's do 3 minutes. 3 minutes a section. Let's do 3 minutes on their legs. So you got 3 minutes to employ, to learn, to practice. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. I have 3 minutes to put them into bliss. Beautiful. Let's enjoy this journey. Give them lots of nice feedback. If you need us, talk to us. We're here for you. Small things are the best. And I try to stimulate you.
Gives them trouble.
It's like we're going from the zero match. It's a big. I'll keep that in front of you. Check this out. That's doing good to me, lads. Stay with it. You're doing great.
Different or better?
Yeah, they're both good, yeah.
Try.
Yeah, it's a nice.
All right, keep playing with their legs. Minute and a half to go, yogis. You're doing great. Stay with the healing. Stay with the feeling. Working on that group work.
You use your body, and you were using your arms, like, left there, you right on. This is the benefit of this, is like, it doesn't matter how big someone is relative to one cock, not trying to drag you off the floor. Just trying to create that sensation of security. So that's a good question. Is really all you're trying to do is right now your fingers below the apex of the ankle, right? That's the width of the ankle. So try and have the cup. So if I'm going to grab this and try and have the cup to scoop, right? The rest of my hands can be there if they need to be, but I'm just trying to make sure that you can see the Achilles right here. It's like the skinniest section. Yeah. And then you just want to see if you can just kind of pull back on that. So everyone's going to have different hand grip, but if you can't, try and have your thumb on the other side of that tendon.
Oh, on the other side.
Yeah, so
Like
it's just a little
so.
bit more rotation.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, so now try that. Yeah, because yeah. And you realize it's not hard too because like it'll slip, but like then you can always just repurpose. And then the other thing too is you don't have to go for broke. It's not constant traction all the time. I mean, you can go through simple movements.
All right, crews, so in 30 seconds, whenever you're ready, you're going to thank your partner, you're going to switch people. So you're going to go one by one on this one. So now, who had legs before, and you stand up, you're going to move to player two. Give yourself 30 seconds to transition. I'm going to start the clock in 30 seconds. And you got 3 minutes.
Sitting, if that's okay for you, or once you're standing, whatever you're comfortable with, okay?
It's good. As long as you feel it. So use your less energy or the position. So that's just good. Does it feel comfortable? Yeah? Okay, great. And now try to just go one leg. Yeah. Back and forth. Notice you got looking good. Yeah. That's just letting one hip take all the pressure, the other release the pressure. You can unlock any sort of restriction. Yeah. Yeah. This is where we get really specific. So if you're going to pull back on someone and then create one tug, swivel over the side, and then go the other way. There you go. Easy, right? Okay, good. So more of that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very, very conscious.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, yeah, it's good for me. Yeah, no, totally, it's a nice stretch for me. You good?
So the best thing about like TIA massage, you realize that like the whole time you bring it on your own body. It's just mechanics. Use your own weight. You can do a lot.
It's not hurting your ankles or anything, is it?
I'm going to teach this to this is actually the only example so far that I've seen. Okay. So Rebecca handles log rotation.
Okay, crew, now that we've done our legs with our partners,
So if you actually
let's now transition into shoulders. We're doing shoulders? Yeah, we're doing shoulders and crown of the head. We have 5 minutes for that one.
So right
Shoulders and crown of the head.
And now jump into your seat. That's cool.
Yes.
That's okay, that's okay. Anyways, it was just the one time, like, you move forward. So whenever you get someone who's rolled forward, it's really nice to start high, it's safer, it's easier, and then you can drop them back down. And to the left part, can you make that a signature position?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, something mindful of.
Beautiful,
Then you just lean into it.
Yeah.
You have to drag it across.
Just the shoulder, I just wanna.
You want to do the shoulder up first?
Yeah. Is that what we're supposed to be doing?
I would do an occiput first.
What's that one?
That's the cradle of the back of the head.
Oh.
I think you said shoulders, but I think you, yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't
much
matter.
rather we do
Just,
shoulders.
yeah, no, you should, yeah.
Of course. You cool?
Yep.
Yeah. So if we're in this position, mind if I just like slip in there? Okay. So we're in this position. She's pretty relaxed. Chest is pretty open. You want to make sure that you're always entering from above. She can see what I'm doing, right? And then you press in
Okay.
and down and away. Because one of the big problems that we have is if you just press straight down, it can cause a lot of like tension in the pecs. And we're trying to release that. And then again, it's kind of like just what would a cat do? You know, just the easy stuff is the best. Look, she's smiling for it.
Cat's baking the biscuits, right?
Yeah, totally. Right? And so the nice thing about this is if you do it first, you can get the person to really relax the weight of their shoulder blades. Now that's out of the way. What would be next? Which would be, and if you really wanted to, you could like keep this on so you can't really get too far with that. And this is just a scoop underneath the skull. Rigid, right? You're just trying to think about creating same length as the legs. I'm just moving backwards a little bit with the weight of the butt. That's allowing me to not use too much energy. It's not as mechanically sound, but you can give that a shot. How does that feel? You doing okay?
She's happy.
And you can get more.
Look at her eyes, relax.
So give that a shot.
You said more this way.
You're working too hard here. Give it a shot. I'll be back.
Do the same.
Sometimes this is one of the situations. I would sit down.
Your tattoos
Oh,
are very
you're starting to see.
Your tattoos are
You're literally like holding your whole weight in his head. Just like tears. So don't have to work that hard. And see, on that scoop. Beautiful. Enjoy it. Yeah, so.
How's it feel, Sue?
Oh, amazing.
Right?
So you want to be as accurate as you can. And you go on the forefront talk. Yeah. As a reader. And so the idea is just once you're there, try not to directly over them, and now you just kind of keep your arms walking through.
Join us. 1 minute and a half.
Think about when they finish a massage. I wish they could do that for 5 minutes.
Totally. Like her turn.
Oh my gosh. And then they just sit like this, and they can massage up here, and they pull out this part, and they stretch all of it. It's like a oh.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I would get one every day if I was rich.
Totally. Totally. Call that in.
Right. Putting that there.
Put it out there. Why not? Yeah.
Right, crew, let's turn back and say thank you to your partner. If you're ready to switch, you can switch.
Looks good. Hand position looks good. Ashley, how's that feel?
Mm-hmm.
She's happy. You don't need to ask her. Just gotta ask her.
She's a pro.
Mm-hmm. Look, the whole point is just as long as you're pushing away, this space opens. Because that's what most people are looking for. We don't need anything to come to me.
It's very tight. I can feel it.
So for her, another thing, if I was in this situation, I would ask her to bring her arms down. Because now as you get into here, you can actually rotate her nose.
Right?
Yeah. But do you feel how that's a little different?
This side is way worse.
Yes. But all we're looking for is more space. The higher up, the harder it is to relax. So lower, sit more. It's like the exact opposite. Think about what you want. Sort of rendezvous you do have. Well, actually, it's
She needs the word. I'm gonna tip her.
yeah, I have nothing to
All right,
teach
one
you.
more minute, yogis. You wrapped up. Thank your partner.
I feel like I gypped you. Oh my goodness. The mom thing.
Right? Okay, through those who are back on their mats, make sure you write your book and your name in your book. That was another thing I was going to make sure we do. Write your name in your book. That's it, brother. Awesome. As they wrap up, and then once your name's in your book, we're going to do one last thing. We're going to wait on time. I'm always going to be respectful of time no matter what. So not to worry. This should do the parts. So, all right. So, okay, so I'm going to invite, we're all ready? Okay, so this will be our finale. So let's lie down on our mats. We're going to put that bolster underneath the base of the spine so we relax any tension in our bodies. Open up our arms, open up our legs. Take a deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Just breathing and breathing all the way in. And all the way out. For 10. Eight. 7. Relax a little bit more. Filling up. Releasing out. 6. All the way in. All the way up. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
Let's take a deep breath in, bottle it up. Feel the energy, stretch, stretch, stretch. Feel, connecting, feeling, alive to our living, awake to our waking. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale, sigh it out. Deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. That's 9. More and more towards the floor. Deep breath. 8. Get ready for that door. Walking through with light, with love, all that we've learned. Let's hold. Deep breath. 5. Feeling the vibe. Deep breath. 4. Towards the floor. Deep breath. Relaxing and releasing. 3. 2. Last. Beautifully. Just place our hands on our heart centers. Let's just focus on our intention. Maybe today was more than you expected, more you anticipated. Maybe it was less. Maybe it was just perfect. Maybe it was just right. This journey is to take a journey of adventure, to cultivate, to perpetuate, to harvest, to seek the uncomfortable, transform that into the comfortable. Allow ourselves to grow from all that is grounded. As we align ourselves, as we begin our journey, being aware of all that has taken place in the space we now have to hold the container within ourselves and for another, to be grounded, so we can grow stronger and longer all together. Beautiful release. With that, gently sit up. Meditative position. I'm going to invite Master Kent to come to the center of the room. That's cool. He's done his relaxed release on a beautiful film crew, as the man always gives. So Ken, if you don't mind, if you could sit at the center here facing Paola, that would be great. So everyone, today is an auspicious day, not just because it's September 7th, 2024, we're here at ALTEA. It's also a very, very special day. I had to get it into the line of sight. Because September 7th happens to be a birthday. So everyone, we're all going to come around Master Kent. Come on everyone. This is what we do in yoga school. It's a tradition we've done from India all the way through. We're all going to place hands on Master Kent. Don't worry, he's all consensual to this. It was consent. Just put your hands somewhere safe on him. Give this man some love. We're going to do 3 ohms. Charge him up on his birthday. Give it to him. Easy energy. So we're all going to chant 3 ohms. Give him all the best for another year of love and service. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. One more to wish him well. Better than a birthday. Love you, brother. That's true devotion. So thank you, everyone. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste. Don't worry, we're going to take Kent out for a nice little dinner now. Super blessings. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a beautiful